As for the later start. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome back to another Pastor Druski stream. I like to play family-friendly games, have good, clean fun, and today we're going to be playing the 1.0 release version of Lootbound. Of course, there is 24 hours before the game goes live, and so that means something could change. I don't know. It's all subject to change. It's not official until it's actually out in your hands. But that said, I'm very excited to be playing this. I actually have played a little bit up to this point. I've completed a couple runs on the easier difficulties, and today we're excited about pushing into the harder modes, maybe finding out some more content, things like that. I don't know what was in the demo, because I've only played the 1.0. I don't know what is changed from demo to 1.0, so unfortunately I can't kind of guide you on here's what's different, here's what's changed. But that said, if you have played the demo, you can probably tell. That's usually how those things go. Like at least how much content is accessible to you, things like that. And I do want to give one brief disclaimer for today, just as this is a well, thank you everyone for being patient. So let's get rolling on this. So we are back and we're gonna play some 1.0 Lootbound. See how that goes. I do have a little bit of metagame progression already. I have beaten it a couple of times with a couple of different characters on the easier difficulties. So when you first start up Lootbound, you're going to have all of these locked except for the gates. The gates just basically as you starting your run, it's going to be kind of like a Slay-the-Spire type run. But as you do not just runs total, but victories. I've gotten 2 victories, get these seals, which will unlock more locations, but also more story bits, I believe. You get more things available to you. So for example, by playing a run, you get your barracks, and then you can spend these memory shards on different permanent meta upgrades for different classes. You got to pick which class. There are 4 total. And so with the warrior, for example, who is what you start with, probably is what you only have available, I'm going to guess, in the demo, but it's definitely what you start with in the main game. You can increase some of these stats here. As you can see, I've already done a little bit of upgrades, so I have permanent crit chance and whatnot. I've also been able to do a little bit with the witch, and then we just unlocked the bard, and I've not spent anything. I'm not sure which class I'm going to be using. But so that's, for example, with the barracks, and then there's a game room, because you have, as you're going down the adventure, you can bring a die to modify your game rolls, and so I've purchased the merchant's die, but there's other dies. They all have different things. It's not a D6 in the sense of 1 through 6. Each one is going to have 6 faces with different values on them, and so you can kind of pick what fits your playstyle and unlock those. And then also there's going to be a bestiary, which is, you know, pretty much self-explanatory, and I think the reliquary is the same with items that you find along the way, and you can kind of check those out. Now I don't know if there's going to be things that this unlocks by filling the whole deal up, but at the very least it's nice to have to check things out. I do wish it was a little easier, maybe type a search or whatever, if you want to find something in particular, or maybe categorize instead of just weapons, maybe to look up specifically, because there's different, whether it's hammers or swords or maybe helmets, or, you know, to further refine, because there are hundreds of items here, 510 pages, or 510 items. So there's, and that's just on armor, right? 372 weapons. I wish there was a way to find what you're looking for a little bit more easily. But that said, it still is, there's just a lot here. And so, yeah, I wish there was just a way to maybe find, but that's okay. That's okay. So I do have some credits to spend, and I don't know what we're going to start with necessarily as far as class. I do have, I want to definitely want to tackle difficulty 2, see if we can't get to 3, but it doesn't have to be with the warrior. It could be warrior or witch. If we start with the bard, I'd have to do difficulty 1. I've not beaten it yet there. So my thought for today, at least to start, is to do the witch, because I don't think you have access to that on the demo. That's just an assumption. I've not played the demo. And to do it on difficulty 2. So that's my thought, and if that's the case, I'm going to go back and spend some shards on upgrading the witch. That's my thinking. So yeah, good to have you, Grave. Roguelike Paladin's your favorite. Yes, I've pretty much every time he shows up as a follower, I use him, especially if I'm going to do something like the witch here. But obviously I don't have him unlocked yet. And I'm a Pally player at heart, like World of Warcraft, all that. Like that's always my thing. So absolutely. Now you can increase your base health, increase some more vampirism, which of course is these are flat modifiers. So 40 vampirism is 40 health every time you attack. Acid damage is actually quite nice because this is stuff that will pierce armor. And so I can potentially one-shot a lot, especially the earlier enemies. You can one-shot them if you have a high enough acid damage. Mana lets you cast things. Regenerating mana is pretty tough. And then Chaos is really good for the Witch because what this is going to do, a lot of your abilities are going to corrupt the enemy, causing them to take bonus damage. And that bonus damage amount is based on your Chaos amount. And so you get a full party of 3, everyone's hitting the boss, but you've added like minus 1,000 fortitude or whatever it is because of the corruption, thanks to your Chaos. And so now everyone's hitting for plus 1,000 damage on the boss. And so Chaos can go a long ways, plus it's pretty cheap. So I might go ahead and do, for example, another bit of vampirism here, another bit of the, well, I can't do both. I was going to say acid and Chaos. Let's do a couple clicks of the Chaos then. Let's do that. All right. And we're going to get rolling. Difficulty 2, I'm going to use my Merchant's die. And so this is going to be a 6-sided die. 2 of the faces of it are going to add 2 to whatever my die roll is during the run. 3 of the faces will double whatever my die roll is in the run. And the 6th space is actually a outright win. Does not matter what the die roll is. So you always have a chance to win with the Merchant's die, which is, it's nice. It's nice. The higher difficulty does have a reduced reward on defeat, but increased on victory, and then of course monster damage is increased. All of that makes sense. So this is my very first time playing on the harder difficulty. Let's roll. I see their faces, how they gloated when I stumbled. The Academy worshipped the rule, I worshipped the result. Their prohibitions were but walls. To me, they were merely steps to ascend. The Veil of Isis, so they named the ritual, a ravenous, treacherous weave. The Magister stood by, as calm as an executioner before the fall of an axe. His voice, proceed, we must see where the limit lies. Cased guide, the truth lies ahead. I believe we are the guide, by the way. Good luck on the run. Thank you, Tegan. Now, correct me, it's been 2 days, and I've had a lot going on with all the real world stuff, though. Tegan, you are associated with the game, correct? Because I always like to have, if we do have that as an asset for people to ask questions, maybe they got questions about the game's release. No? Okay. There was somebody, and your name was just connecting me to that in my mind. That's why I asked. Thank you for that. But we might have, who knows, we might have one of the devs show back up and we can ask them some questions. So write things down if you want to be prepared. If you have any questions for the dev, because, I'm just another guy playing the game. I don't have any inside access to what's going on behind the scenes. Now, it's going to be very similar to Slay the Spire if you have no idea what we're getting into. Slay the Spire mixed with, say, Backpack Battles or something like that, where you're going to be managing your inventory and arranging the items in your inventory that'll be getting buffs to other things in your inventory. A lot of it has to do with your items. So we'll get rolling. But you're going to have abilities to use. It's going to be turn-based combat, but for me, an auto battling for my allies. It's just me right now. I have a attack that's going to do 160 damage. That's because I have 160 acid damage. So it's just going to do that, and that 160 ignores his 60 armor. So he's got 100 health. We'll kill him with one shot. I also have a way to restore mana. This does not cost mana. Way to restore mana, but then I have my mana costing spell right now is Whisper of Darkness. It's going to apply Corruption and Slow, and my Chaos bonus is doubled. I have 90 Chaos, thanks to our adding to that earlier in the run, before the run. So that means we're going to get 180 corruption on the enemy if we cast it, which means a bonus 180 damage. But for now, and we crit even. Very nice. Okay, after each battle, you're going to get a couple options for items. You can keep them in storage, or you can put them on your character. Right now, we can add some crush damage to us, or let's just go ahead and throw some armor on here. What's nice about armor is that it regenerates every battle. So this is 40 damage that we don't have to take every time. It also gives you some health and order. This character does not use order, not really. Although unless I might be wrong on the vampire. If the vampirism stacks with order, then that'd be great. But regardless, it's just something to use for now. Same deal, we can one-shot. A big part of that, again, is because of the investments into both acid damage and things like that, you know, prior to the run. That's some metagame progression. You're not always going to see that from the get-go. So there are some bells of the empty vein. Give me some more vampirism, so we'll steal more life per hit. Also initiative, which is turn order. Given that I can one-shot guys, it's really nice to go before them, so I don't even have to take damage. But there's also a cleaver here with some slash damage and crit damage. Nah, we're gonna go for the vampirism. That's kind of our thing right now. Now I can pick a branching in the road here. The left is going to upgrade my character permanently if we have the dice roll with us. The right with the blacksmith will give us a gem to put in an item. Now I don't have an item that I plan on keeping, but I can at least show you. You can see under the vampirism and the initiative, there's actually a third line when I highlight this. It's very faint, but you can see a anvil and hammer along with the dash. That's a gem slot. And so you can socket something in there, and it's permanent though, and you also can't just, as far as I can tell, you can't just hold on to gems anyway. So since neither of these items are ones I want to keep, and the gem would be wasted if I throw them away, we're not going to bother at all with the gem. We're going to go over here, and I think this is going to be my policy always, unless the dev come up with a solution for that. I really do love the art on this. I commented a lot on my blind playthrough earlier, so I really do enjoy that. Okay, now we have our first chance for die rolling here. Training time, but will it do any good? I can pick one of 3 randomly chosen buffs here. My crit damage goes up. I could have slash damage go up, or this would be the big one, the crit chance going up. 15% crit chance when I only have 5 to begin with is a massive increase. And that would be great, but you'll notice there's a difficulty assigned to this of 14. We're going to roll a d20. So we have a 20-sided die. If it's 14 or higher, we get the buff. If not, we would get a chance to roll 1 roll of our bonus die that we have. That bonus die can either get +2 or double or just outright win. I don't know if it'll be worth it, but we've got to try because these other ones are really not going to do me any good. I'm not worried about slash damage. I'm not really worried about crit damage if we don't have crit chance, so we're going to try it anyway. Let's go. Easy peasy. All right. Never doubted. Crit chance just goes up to 20% chance now, and we're going to get a new ability. Okay, so we get a choice between the Verdict of Chaos, deals bonus acid damage to the target based on my chaos. Now remember, my chaos down here is 90, so essentially if I cast that spell, we would do 250 damage, and it's acid, so it'd be through armor, so piercing armor. That costs 6 mana, which is actually pretty cheap as far as spells go, or applies corruption and slow to all enemies. Now this is a big deal. It obviously costs more mana, but if we can stack a lot of corruption on them, that's very efficient for turn-wise. So we're absolutely taking that. And we're going to keep moving on. Okay, we got multiple enemies. Now I could cast that, but remember, it doesn't do damage on its own. So this is something I'm going to wait till we have a party that'll be able to take advantage of it. Or meanwhile, I'm just going to make sure I eliminate guys outright. Because he's got 240, and I didn't pick up that other one that increased my damage by chaos. You know, that spell would have killed him. I can't actually one-shot the guy on the left. I can the guy on the right. You can highlight them and see what they're going to do. The one on the right, the rock pile, attacks the character with... I mean, who they're going to attack is obviously me, but this does tell you if you have multiple characters who it'll attack. He also gives armor to his allies, which with acid, I don't care. And then this guy is going to apply fury to himself. So what I'm thinking, because I ignore armor entirely, is I'm actually going to go for the left guy. Because Fury is going to stack. Fury is adding to his damage every time he swings. The more turns I give him, the more damage he does to me. Since I'm ignoring armor, the other guy is not doing anything to me. So let's work on this guy. Plus we crit. Druski finds good games. It does take some efforts. There are a lot of games I got to filter through, but I try to always make it the games that I bring to you are games that I think are worth your time. That's what I try to do. It's, you know, it's hit or miss, but I try. If the dev pops by, tell him it'd be nice to have an option to see the enemy modifiers without mousing over. That's a great point. Get some more crit chance, 4% crit chance, and a lot of the inventory space is a huge deal. So like this is just a ton of wasted space there. I'm just gonna grab that. Now we're up to 24. Crispy, good to have you over on the kick. Glad to have you there. We are approaching a new party member. Along the way, I can upgrade my character. I could get a guaranteed yellow divine item. It's basically a legendary item, but in the game, legendary exists. It's one tier lower. So whatever. I'll probably accidentally call it legendary at some point. And it's usually, I think it almost always is like a jewelry item also, which buffs other items. Or we could just get a regular item. But what's more important is we want to know what these pathways are going to lead us to. If we go to the left, I could have a gem, which then I could put in a legendary item if I have this, right? So that might be our plan, because it'll be an item hopefully is something worth keeping, and then put a gem in it. To the right, we have a campfire, which will restore health and mana of only one character, not the whole party. Or a potion of some sort, and then we merge back. So I think we've got our plan. Let's get an item that is worth our time. To do so, we have to pay the price. The offering is of our mana. Alright, what is our ring? The Ring of the Berserker. It affects weapons. It's going to give you minus armor. Now remember, we only have that 40 armor to begin with, so it's not a big deal. Minus armor for each weapon. This is the ring itself does not do this. It's the weapons adjacent to the ring. Let's go ahead and look at the... See, you got the adjacency things? So the weapons adjacent are, each one is going to be minus armor, plus 30 acid damage, and plus 16 initiative. So if I drop this right here, you can see it highlights both of those, and we now are minus 120 armor, but we only really lost the 40 from this thing, which we weren't planning on keeping anyway. And then we just gained 60 acid damage and 32 initiative. Very nice. Very nice. You'll eventually memorize the enemy types and what they do, but it would be nice quality of life. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree. And one of the other things I'd like to see is when you highlight an enemy to see which one it is in the turn order, because like the profile picture of the enemy is not necessarily what you might think it is from the on the board enemy. So it'd be like, I want to attack the one in this turn order. Berserker one-shot build, is that a thing? That's a thing. We're going to make it a thing. All right, we can pick up the Bard or the Paladin. Now, I'm just a huge fan of the Paladin, but both are really good. What's nice about the Bard, this Court of Healing, will, whenever he attacks, he's going to attack. It's usually not a strong attack given, but he also heals a random ally at the same time. This is usually a third character I'd like to have that goes along with the Paladin, but this is a nice ability because it's an attack and heal every time. Good stuff. The Paladin, on the other hand, he has a attack that will always give him armor, so he is basically always going to take. Most of the enemies are going to target the character with the highest defense value. If he's always given himself armor, then it's your health plus your armor is your defense value. He should be the one getting hit, and he's going to restore his own armor, and he'll have a spell that can heal himself. Actually, I have a choice now, don't I? I'm used to having the Fortress of Faith, I think. Yeah, the Fortress of Faith, which triggers when you're like at half health, and he'll heal whoever's at half health. He'll give health and armor, and it's 3 mana. This is new to me, the Insight of the Faithful. So I don't know what the trigger condition is, and I kind of do wish that would show. But deals damage to a random enemy, restores armor to all allies, order bonus is doubled. This would mean I won't have a heal, but I'm gonna give it a try, just because it's new. BC, good to have you. Good to have you. And then we're almost immediately just gonna throw this over here because I'm not benefiting from the armor that this thing has, as well as the order, right? Because he's gonna get double value of order. And then the question is, are we gonna start putting this sort of thing on there? And right now, because I want the weapons, the total weapons, I'm gonna leave them here, but we could start moving them over there as well. He's not gonna do much damage. He's mostly there just to be a shield for me. He's got 340 armor, and he'll restore his own armor, I think 65 per swing. We want that order to keep going up. So here's what I was talking about. If you highlight the left side, you can on the turn order here, you can actually see who it's talking about, right? So if I highlight this one and be like, okay, it's that guy, or that's me, but it doesn't do it in the reverse order. Like I kind of wish I could. I'm like going to attack this guy, and it's telling me I want to see the left one, the turn order to highlight and be like, okay, but this guy is like, you know, the bottom of the barrel. Because now, you know, I can look at this and it's like, okay, he's this one. Where you got your fireball here. And I could be like, okay, these guys are happening before my tank, and I want to kill them before they attack my tank, you know? And that would be the logic. So, like, I'm actually going to go ahead and take that guy out. And then my tank, he's always going to... Actually, he's casting first. Triggers if the hero... Oh, no. Oh, no. He's never going to have any mana at all. See, we need to know what the trigger is when you pick your abilities. We need to know. Because my character has no armor. Like, I'm always gonna have no armor because I've got the item that's gonna have, I can't see my items. I'm gonna have the item that has like minus to armor. So this triggers if the hero has no armor. So basically, he's gonna use it all up right here, and he's never gonna have any mana ever again. That's okay. I can get a mana potion and throw it on him when we get to like a boss fight, and just we're ready then. Like the rest of the run, he won't have any mana at all. But now we know. Now we know. So he's not going to attack. He's just going to keep doing. No, I have some armor now because of the first time around. So he will attack. Okay. Well, that could have been better. Okay, I can give a Flute of Rhythm. I could give 10 order to our guy here, so he has more like armor that he gives and everything. It's also a weapon though, which means I could combine it with this thing to give myself even more acid damage and initiative. I won't use the order, but it would trigger that. Or we could just get mana and chaos on this massive mantle that would take up so much space that it's guaranteed to be dropped later. I think we're going to stick with the flute because it's something I'll probably keep for a little while, and because we're one-shotting things at this stage, we're going to focus on utilizing it here. Now, I can potentially have like, it doesn't matter how much surface area of the ring, so I could be touching it just like this and fit more items, but for the moment, just for cleanliness here, I'm just going to put it right there. Okay, and then let's try to find a gem to put in our ring. More vampirism. I could give myself armor, but the ring defeats the purpose. I could give slash damage, which there's no downside to that, but it's not the build. I think 100% we want vampirism, but it is a difficulty 14, which is actually really high, I think, for 40 vampirism. But we'll try. We'll try. Streamer luck, after all, is not with us. I could use my extra roll. I have 2 total, but only 1 facet of the merchant's die will give me a win. The rest, like the double ones here, will make this an 8, which still fail. The 2s are going to make it a 6. I would have to have that 1 in 6 chance. I'm not going to waste the roll. It wasn't that big of a deal in the first place, so we're going to continue on. All right. Now, I do believe the guy in the back is the bigger threat, and we're doing enough damage now. We're doing 250 acid damage, thanks to the ring, that we can one-shot him, and we crit as well. But he's going to waste his mana again. You do get some mana back after each fight, so he'll probably, like every other battle, have, you know, some mana to waste, but I'm still a little bummed on how that worked out. Another weapon with acid damage, so that would be another weapon for, so it's really 40 more acid damage. Or we could get some armor for our tank, or a staff, which is a weapon, acid damage and chaos. Now, this is half the acid damage, but it does give some chaos. It's also a different form factor. Mana regen, yeah, it's a percentage, but I don't know what the percentage is. I haven't paid enough attention. It is a percentage of your mana. But I don't know how much. Partially restores after combat. I do want to keep stacking chaos, so I'm going to grab this. If it's a mana potion, we want that. It's not. So just a regular old health potion. And now, let's have another look. So, this is an elite fight. I could go elite fight, get another legendary item, and then another elite fight, which could be pretty dangerous, honestly. I could not do the first elite fight and instead do a regular, and now go get myself a gem for the item. Now, this item is okay. I don't know if I'm building a whole thing around it. 30 acid damage, we're using it to the best of our ability right now, but it's not necessarily a game-winning amount, if that makes sense. So, I don't know if I want this to be the one that has the gem anyway, because there's better items out there. Yeah, left is absolutely high risk, high reward. The center could buff that, and to the right is what's nice about the buffing your character is inventory space will absolutely be at a premium, and this is a buff that does not rely on inventory space at all. And so that is a facet, but I think people are much more interested in the high risk, high reward with the legendary things. We are playing on a harder difficulty. We want to have the cool stuff. So we'll go for it. Waste your mana. Now, how much mana does he actually have to begin with? He has 40 mana to begin with, and he has 15 here. He just gained 4, so it's a 10% increase. It's a 10% regen. 10% regen. I'm going to give him a little bit of mana and a little bit of order here. Yeah, early deity, exactly. We'll be able to build the build around it, hopefully. It just, you know, we're doing what we can. So now, because we have elites, I actually do want him to be able to cast, so he'll get the first one off, and then in the meanwhile, I'm going to go ahead and put some corruption on him to increase damage done. This is going to double my chaos value, which is 94. So 188 reduction in his initiative, as well as increase in damage done to him by 188. So that's a big deal. He also hit me. Whenever I attack, I'm going to heal myself for 189. So we will get our full health back. But the question is, do I attack now? Or do I do it again? Because this we can just keep stacking, which is pretty okay. So now it's 376 bonus damage. And now, because of the health situation, I am going to go ahead and do some attacking. Nice dodge. Thanks to the vampirism, we should end close to full health. Very nice. Not full mana or anything, but full health. I have not seen this. You've got a yellow, you got a purple. They're all very large. What do we got? The Bulwark of the Immortal Martyr. This is a paladin-only item. You can see that on the bottom left. The item itself gives 50 health, 40 armor, and it has an aura that only activates when it's touching the bottom portion of the inventory. It's an important detail. That aura will buff helmets with 40 health and 30 more armor. That's good. Not game-changing, but good. It also has 2 gem slots, which is interesting as well. So that's obviously, there's no downside to picking that, but let's see what else we got. The Thunder Ram, a legendary hammer. This is one step below in rarity. Gives crush damage, and it will give other hammers adjacent to it crush damage. This is how we can make our paladin actually do some carrying for us. Now, that may be what we want long term, but I think that the item itself is just too large to really build around. I think I'd much rather go for this. It's also worth more, which, you know, for the metagame progression. And I think you guys just want to see it. Helmets being at the top. Well, this actually, because this is going to be the whole board. Like, if I see how you can put helmets at the top, it will still affect it. This is not an adjacency bonus. This is an entire board bonus, which is cool. All right, I've used this hammer to much success many times, so let's look at it in a second. The Ring of the Slippery Ore affects weapons, gives dodge per weapon, gives thorns, lose initiative. That could be a lot of dodge. Like, just... if I had it right here, that's 24% dodge right now. But I could easily fit 2 more things in there as well. Right? So, what, 36% dodge from 1 item? It's not bad. We lose a lot of initiative. We're always going to go last. The thorns, I don't care about. I really don't. But the dodge could be worth it, except it would be at the expense of not getting this. And that would be a problem, because the Sledgehammer of the Light Strike gives mana, crush damage, 2 gem slots. It affects other hammers, giving them crush damage and order, It needs to be near the top edge, but it also gets double bonuses from blacksmith gems, and that's where I find is really cool, because it has 2 slots. So if we can get some really big buffs there from the gems, as well as hammers, we got something going for us. Now this has to be touching the top edge of the inventory, so that means we're gonna have to start moving stuff. But this is different from the one down here where it's like the whole board. This one is an adjacency thing. So it's got to touch it, but it also needs to have room around it for things to touch. So very soon, all of these items that we've been kind of just carrying, they're about to be dropped. And I don't think any of ours here are hammers, instrument, sword, instrument, staff. Yeah, so those won't affect this. It needs to be a hammer specifically. And then we also are looking for helmets specifically. We've learned that helmet is a specific type of headwear. So we're going to keep our eyes open for that. Also, more yellow things! Yeah, the dodge thing could be great on the mage. I agree. I think everyone wanted... I've got to also remember that, you know, chat wants to see the cool stuff. So there you go. All right. Necklace of Wisdom. Plus a ton of armor, 4 armor, minus dodge, minus initiative. I mean, obviously we want it. This is probably not on my mage. This is probably on you right here. So we just got an extra 420 armor, but we lose our 5% dodge, which I think we don't care. And we lose our initiative, which already was abysmal. So there you go. Now we got something going now. I'm gonna kind of move that over a little. Yeah, of course. It's exciting to kind of see how the build might develop. So let's see, we've got another elite. This time our friend does not have any mana. Imagine that. The Lava Smasher will attack the one with the highest defense power. So of course our tank, every 2 turns attacks all enemies and applies fury to itself. So he's going to get stronger the longer we take. We are going to put some corruption on him. Our buddy does need more order. He's only giving himself 70 armor per swing, and I want it to be a lot more than that. Alright, and then I'm going to start getting my life back here. I've learned that because of the vampirism, this can be a whole lot easier than playing the warrior. It really is. Okay, a divine staff. I've not seen this. Other staffs get vampirism if it's on the left side. It gives some acid damage and some vampirism. This is purely like healing. And it's a lot of it. It's potentially a whole lot of it. But it's only healing. It's not going to be more damage. Not really. 5 acid damage is nothing. It does have 2 gem slots, but I think if we get gems, we're focused on the double value with the hammer over there. Let's see what our hammer does, because we're stacking hammers. Okay, the Unbreakable Illuminator. Crush damage and Fortitude. Fortitude directly reduces damage taken by that amount. So we've been inflicting negative Fortitude on enemies. Positive would mean, you know, something for our tank. Crush damage, and then it gives other hammers bonus order, but not much. This is not a great hammer. It's very little damage, very little order aura, and a lot of floor space taken up. I don't like it. This, we would, if we did it, it would be strictly for the fact that it's a hammer that would benefit from the 28 damage and 12 order here, so 18 order total because they're touching each other. But I don't like it. That's too large. Hey, Zerg and Dane, good to have you. I'm going to go for the staff. We're going to go for the staff. It counts as a weapon, so it's going to stack with our ring. And now we might be getting something more interesting here. So the Mantle of the Mana Well, health and mana. It's a hood, affects hoods. I don't have any hoods yet. Gives mana to hoods if it's at the bottom. Doubles effect from auras. This is not this is an aura, but it's not one that would affect it. This affects other staffs, which left edge of the inventory. Okay, I need to switch everything. So there. Now we're getting the 35 vampirism from this, and okay, everything has to move, doesn't it? Oh goodness, it starts. It's beginning. Because I'm gonna have to. I'm not ready for that. I've got to get this first. We'll figure it out. We can have all of those touching that. We'll figure it out. This is gonna affect hoods. I don't know if we're gonna have room for hoods. 8 mana. I don't know if it's worth the effort either. This is a hood, and it gives 84 vampirism to mantles, which are what this is. If they were together, you know, that's something. This is also giving health, its own mana, its own vampirism, and this has, as a lot of the helmets do this, don't ask me why, a lot of the helmets do this. They have a 3x3 square here, and they have a automatic rotate. After every battle, they will automatically rotate, but you cannot manually rotate it. So the mantle buff, the 84 vampirism, will apply to like 3 of the sides, and then it rotates. So unless you adjust 1/4 of the time, you won't get that bonus. So you got to pay attention to what's going on in your inventory. It's a little annoying, and it's a little large to try to like fit things around it as well. So not a huge fan of that. 84 vampirism is a lot. I do have a fair amount already, but that is a lot, plus the health. What else do we have? We have a armor item that will give us more armor with helmets. We are looking for helmets. And of course we're looking for armor in general, so I could easily grab this and make it fit, and I might be doing that. I might just be doing that. Yeah, let's just go ahead and have that. And let's go back over here and fix it. Also, Hadash wants a dad joke. What do I got here? Well, okay. I was going to tell you guys a time travel joke, but you didn't like it. Okay, let's figure this out. All right, we're gonna move you back over to this corner here. I've got my staff here that needs to be somehow touching that. We got this. This is fitting, but obviously I want to have like something else in here eventually. But for the moment, it'll work. And then I would like for this to be touching more than one. But we're gonna have, like, this is gonna go very soon. We're not gonna keep that very much longer. So this is gonna be completely rearranged shortly. Oh, I don't want to do that because you need to touch. Okay, whatever. We'll be arranging that very soon. Cooking hamburgers and watching Druski play a game. Sounds like time well spent. Alright, there's some mana for us. We'll throw that on the boss fight, or at least a elite. We won't have a... There's not like a traditional act boss. It's just the last boss, so we'll use it on an elite at some point where we feel like we need to. Which might be right here. We could get a gem. We do have the hammer that doubles gems. I could also fight the elite, which gives me, you know, high chance for yellow items, and it's 2 drops. And then get a campfire afterwards, which is valuable. So how valuable is the double gem when it's a chance that we might not get it at all, right? Because the double gem bonus here. Or just get more items. I might go for more items. All right. What's your targeting? A random enemy, and it applies corruption. So I'm going to actually take extra 100 damage now, which is not great. I wanted to top off in case he hit me a second time. need to have a higher max health pool. We've got a lot of vampirism, but we need higher max. Okay, legendary staff. Remember, this buffs staffs specifically. They're both staves. Acid damage dodge. This will give other staves acid damage and chaos. Very nice. Not high numbers, but very nice. Then we have acid damage and dodge again. And this will give chaos only, but it's a little bit easier shape to fit here. I would like to get the chaos. I don't know if we're going to be able to make this fit, but I think the chaos is superior. And then here's a helmet. Remember, we want helmet. And this will give plate armor extra order as well. We've got some plate armor going, right? All that's plate armor. But we have a divine mantle giving hoods a chaos bonus. Doubles bonus from blacksmith gems too. That would give me an option for my class as well as the other. What are we getting from the helmets? Helmets give 40 health and 30 armor. This would give the order. We could potentially find a way to fit it with this for even more armor. Potentially. We're getting close to where it's going to be armor and not hammers, by the way. Like, this hammer might not become our thing, because there's just not going to be room. I'm going to grab the mantle. Helmet fits too good. It is matching a lot of our stuff, and we do need more order. Like, that's kind of bothering me. I don't have much order. To fit that in there, we're going to really have to struggle. Of course, if I have the staff over here, we're going to start having trouble with this, too. And this affects hoods, and it looks like we're going to go weapons. So, we might not have any hoods. I'm going to go for the helmet. Alright. Can't fit that there. I would like to find a way to fit the helmet touching multiple things as well. Like, I can do this and it's touching 2, but I'd like for it to touch all 3. I guess it's only 6 order. This one is the more important one to touch 3. And then, of course, I no longer can fit that because of just the positioning I've chosen. So we can switch it to the other side. But yeah, the hammer I think is going to be going soon. I can't... I'd have to drop all of this to start making a bunch of hammers fit. Can't flip it, so that won't fit in there. Losing a little bit of mana and order, but we're gaining a little bit more order from this. And then this thing is going to be a bit of a headache. That's our main problem right there. Okay. If this had the opposite angle, we could fit that. It's only touching the one staff. I would like for it to be different here. Now this is already applying to this because, again, it's touching like all of those. If I could just do this and just get rid of this. I mean, I could have it for a moment. From holding on to it for a minute, but at least this way we're touching the 2 staves. This is touching the 2 staves. This is touching all 5. Well, not this one, but this one was going to be the first to go regardless. Zerg, you played a smidge of the demo. What's your favorite companion to pick up? The Paladin. Definitely the Paladin. But they're all viable. They're all viable. Now, I don't like the Paladin's second, like the spell that I picked for right now, because of the way that the timing works for it, which means it drains all of his mana every time. Fury hidden behind your righteousness, and fear behind your arrogance. Bold observation, be not afraid, not bold, simply honest. Since when did you learn to read me so well? I notice things. Especially about me, especially dangerous things. Careful choice of words, you are learning. Alright, we're gonna just heal ourselves because he's gonna lose that mana immediately. This is the end of the act, but it's not a boss fight. Instead, we're going to pick an aspect of the final boss to be faced later. So we can have the enemy restore its health and armor, increase critical power, or give a massive amount of restores massive amount of armor and increase the power of its vampirism, increases critical power. So it heals more, or it heals more. Crit power or crit power. Vampirism stacks. This doesn't. I like the Bard as my third, not as my second. So the Bard, I think, is if you got a party already rolling, the Bard fits quite well. But I don't think he makes the party for you, unless maybe you're playing as the Paladin or something. But if I'm playing like the Witch, I need something tanky. This guy stacks thorns. Oh, crits! We didn't do it though. Now, I'm used to running... Remember how we had the whole hammer thing going? I'm used to having hammers and then having something that, like, weapons give armor, like we have over... No, we don't have over here, but something like that, to where I don't need armor at all, and he's doing damage. And I feel like that's the superior build so far. I've not really been impressed with just a lot of armor, not being able to convert that into damage. We got another staff, a little bit of acid dodge and chaos, or a helmet. This is a helmet. This buffs helmets, so I could swap this here. This is a... We'd lose the plate armor, but we'd gain the health and armor from that. Or we can start dropping the hammer itself. If I get this staff, I could probably fit it right here. Yeah, let's just stick with the staff for a second. Because then it'll be effective. Well, I want it to touch this too. Like I was planning this originally because then this buffs all three, this buffs that, but this one's not. We wouldn't get that 6 chaos, or 6 acid and 4 chaos. If I shifted the whole thing down, no. I mean, these things are not important to me, so... We sell when we have to, but they're just not... They're not worth worrying about. Yeah, that doesn't fit. Whatever. Corruption is how the Paladin does damage? The Paladin does damage through Crush right now. His attack power is only 90 with the Crush damage. He doesn't do spells that do damage. He has spells that give him, like, Order gives him more armor per swing. And if he had the healing ability, it would give him healing. But we need to have weapons that are giving crush damage. And right now, I just don't. I could, for example, like this, if it's not going to touch this, I could start having that 10 Order over here. That's not a problem at all. And then, I don't know if that frees anything up. You know what? Can I give him a little bit of vampirism? No, I can't. Let's see. You know, he could heal himself up a little. Anyway, most of this is going to get sold, so that's why I don't want to really mess around too much with it. Oh, my corruption gives him damage. Yes, that's right. Okay. Slash damage 80 is a lot, and difficulty 12 is not too bad. And what I'm saying a lot is because I could potentially double it. We didn't get the double value on anything else because I didn't get that mantle. So this would be on the hammer. I was just talking about potentially dropping the hammer, though. So that's maybe a problem. Now, I could also get a bunch of armor and doubling that. 300 armor on one item. Huge amount. But, again, am I dropping the item? Because basically that 210 armor is just such a massive number that I'm going to be keeping that for the game probably with this thing here. And then you might as well combine it with the other armor things. So I don't think I really need the armor. I think I'd rather have damage. And I don't have a better place to put it except for that hammer, because why wouldn't I want to double it? The problem is, am I going to keep the hammer? Got the item. You can't store it. You can't just put it in here for later for a better item. And that's kind of the problem. I have to set it down in order to look again. This, like, we could have Slash on our own, but Slash will be subject to having to get through the armor. I think we're just going to throw it on here. 160 damage. Which gets doubled if the armor is down. Now I'm going to stick with that hammer. It was just too good. And this is a situation where I could do this, apply that corruption to both, and next turn I'll be able to one-shot anyway, so either way we're not behind on the turns, we're just behind on a little bit of mana, and he gets to one-shot too. Oh, no I don't. But maybe we crit? We crit. Easy peasy. A extra large common hood or extra large common mantle. A lot of dodge. We did not go for that hood build or the mantle build. We passed on both. Right now it's all about weapons, so neither of these are very valuable to me. This one is worth a little bit more cash to sell. I'm not even going to try to... I don't want to lose a weapon. So, I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay. Inventory space is already limited, so I'm really going to be prioritizing the character upgrades, I think. Coming up to new character here, though, which will give us a little bit more inventory. I could get another gem and do another doubling, but... I don't know. If we're keeping it now, then we're like, okay, let's throw the other gem on it and double it. That would put us along this path, which you could get another thing here. That's not bad. Let's see what we get. I've got all my reroll gems. 100 crush damage. Okay. Okay, because we can make that, if we get it, 200, and of course we want crush primarily for him to get through with that slash. And, alright. And we're going to double that. Okay, so now he's actually going to do some damage. That's really good. What do you do? Speed. Acid damage is not great. I don't want him to keep taking acid damage, so I'm going to focus on those. Can one-shot things now. Nice. Let's get rid of the hammer. There's a hood, all the common items, health and mana. Can't fit anything. Same thing, it's just different slots. 16 mana is not bad, and I can just take this thing out, right? Because this is we're gaining vampirism too. A little bit of health. Okay. Warrior with a thorn cleave. Now I'm not really stacking thorns, but he could. Forget what that trigger is. I need, again, if I could give feedback to the devs, I need to know what the ability trigger is on the spells. It's actually not this. This is their standard attacks. I'm sorry, this is their standard attack. It's the next page after I pick them. When we pick a spell, I need to know what that trigger is. Now this would allow him to apply thorns to self, but he's not my tank. Right? We've already got our tank established, so I'm not picking him. We're going to go for the Bard. So this would restore health and applies thorns to a target. I believe that this is like the one that you start with, and yeah, I believe that that's what he's just. It's like 50, like at 50% of their health is when he spends that. This one's new to me, the Healing Mockery. So it deals bonus acid damage to the target based on order. So we want him to have order, but we will both be piercing through the armor. Then he also restores health to an ally. Order bonus is doubled. I like it. It's new. I don't know what's going to trigger it, but I do know we were going to give him some order now. This is chaos, but it is mana and health. Well, the Bard trigger for the regular spell is 50%. This one might be different, just like the spell for our Paladin is different. Another 100 crush. Wow. 15 order, which we could double, or 20 chaos for me, and that's an easy roll. I could just keep stacking crush damage over here. This would not be doubled. This would just be 100 crush. Getting the 20 chaos would mean 40 bonus damage. It's a much easier roll. Oh, everyone wants to have the crush, don't we? We want this. Easy peasy. Oh, sorry for killing the audio as I click my emoji with Orange Cat. Give flute to the Bard. No, I don't think so. The Paladin is actually wanting order as well. He's giving himself armor with every swing, and that's based on how much order he has. So this is 10 more armor every swing, whereas this is, it's like 10 more heal, but armor stacks. If we're full health, then that's good. All my mana. Okay, affects armor, gives armor, minus dodge, plus tons of order, plus chaos. So tons of order means this is going to go in armor. It's going to go on probably our Bard. It could be our Paladin, but I think he's full. So I'm okay with this. Now we need to actually start giving him some armor. Like maybe this? Seems okay. Oh, the necklace would fit on the Paladin? Yeah, it would. It would. They both need it. They both need it. Yeah, it works on both. All right, time to start doing some party spells. 110 is not actually as much as I'd like to see. It's because it's not doubling. I would like to get more corruption or more chaos stat. The fact that we can just pierce through that 800 armor is great. Mossy Cloak, health and mana. A Vampirism and Order Instrument. Now he's getting buffed specifically from armor, but it is just more order. Now I could actually, you know what? Hammer for this. I was gonna say I could throw this here. Just giving him ever so slightly amount of vampirism lets him heal himself, because of the targeting for the heal from the Bard is random. So he would actually be able to heal himself 18 per swing. It's not a big deal. It's really not. This would be an armor. 125 health is actually a fair amount. I am going to try to fit this on here somehow. We'll make it work. Do I want to keep spending 12 mana? This is an easier fight, I think. I'm not going to spend the mana. Ooh, don't like the crits. Remember when we were talking about the trigger condition? Our healing mockery triggers if there's exactly one monster. So boss fights it works, but start of this it does not. So that's an interesting trigger. He just did it again, costing him 12 mana each time. But he's doing the double order amount. So he just did like 340 bonus damage there. But it costs mana. We're just getting to the point where we're not gonna be able to fit any of this. These things are all pretty awful, take up way too much space. Health, mana, and chaos. We're not using the chaos. We are using the mana. This is not a armor for this to buff. But what I might be able to do is just swap these and have just that much more space. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Damage to the target. Corruption to the target. Do I not already have that? I can't see my own abilities. I can... No, it doesn't do damage. I can just do corruption, but the one that I have does double corruption. This doesn't. This will do double acid damage, yeah. So let's do that. And we're still running out of space, so I'm just gonna go for the stats. Now this is for my main character only, so I could get 70 slash damage, but we're doubling like our acid and things, and this is such a small amount. But if we had crush, like this would mostly be useless because I'm usually hitting a guy that has armor. And the rest of the damage is piercing it, so this would be wasted, whereas this I'd double, and it's almost guaranteed. No, it is guaranteed because of my roll, my extra die. Guaranteed. It was not very much, but I didn't want to risk the other ones. Targeting armored. Yeah. You're not wrong. I can just one-shot things now. Like, we're double acid damage, so that 15 is a 30. It is what it is, right? But this costs 11 is my problem. And they dodged. Random character. I am going to... Get mana. Hey, a hammer! I can't fit that. I can drop the common thing. Oh, you're talking about the hood? These all count as armor. I'm not sure which one we were talking about before. Crush is double damage to armor, but it still does regular damage to health too. So Crush is still fine. It was also just a harder roll to get. Now I got a 19, but I went for like the freebie, you know? Oh, right, you mean training. You mean training. So Blacksmith is a gem that I could put on anybody, but the training is only your main character, and that was training. So we're looking at only something to put on my main character, and I could have gone for the Crush for more overall damage, but that's only if we got it. And it's a die roll, and I've been pushing my luck, and I was just kind of like, I want the freebie. You know? That's where that came from. I just wanted the freebie. Okay, now if I swap this, we can gain 100 Crush damage and 8 Fortitude, losing some initiative, which is already negative. We don't have acid damage, so 100 Crush and 8 Fortitude plus 28 more Crush and 12 Order. We drop that, but we lose 210 armor, 250 armor actually. A little bit of health, a little bit of order. Is it worth it? Our damage 678 because it's counting the slash and the crush. Decent upgrade. Armor 1125, 1375. Yeah, there's the 250. And they're not necessarily getting all, like the 250 is kind of a waste because they're not necessarily getting all of it. It's more order overall. Keep it for now. The hood at the bottom of the bard space is what you talked about earlier. All right, we'll check it. Something to throw on the boss later. This one? Yeah, it counts as a armor though, so it's still triggering the amulet. Is that what you're talking about? Whether it triggered the amulet or not? Like it wouldn't count for the helmet for this thing to buff. And this needs a helmet as well. But it is, you know, at least just armor. And then, do we dare... I mean, either way, it's items, so I guess we go for the yellow... Is it always... I think it's always going to be jewelry, I guess. At one point, I thought my first couple of runs that I got in yellow, but they were like non-jewelry items. But I guess maybe I was just wrong. It's been known to happen on occasion, to be wrong. I would like to have my bard get his mana back. So I'm looking at the campfire rather than the gems and all that. I'm looking at it. Item types? No, it's a specific type of helmet, a specific headwear, so it doesn't count as helm when it's a hood, but both count as armor. They're within that category. It's gonna get thorns. It's gonna be a lot of thorns after a minute. No, we're not going to give him too much time, I guess. That is a massive loot. Why is it such a big item? It could be a lot of order. We could build entirely around that. That could be a lot of order. Or we get a staff, gives acid, gives chaos, gives more acid. It is a staff, so it benefits from some other things. If it was slightly different positioning, I could more easily fit that in there. Do we have kind of a theme here? Yeah, you want armor, and that's giving me order, 27 order from armor. There's no way I fit this thing. I just can't. I can't do that. Oh no. A divine hat. Dodge chance, crit chance, initiative. Any jackets with it gives extra dodge and initiative if placed near the top. Item stats improve after... Oh, I love those. So every combat, it gives 2% more crit chance. It just keeps stacking. Do I have a jacket over here? That's a jacket. Yeah, yep, that's going to be a jacket. No, it's a mantle. Mantle. I've got one jacket. And these are going to be... But it's an armor, which is stacked with this thing too. What's our ring do? It's affects weapons, minus health, gives crit chance, crit damage, and order. I don't have that many weapons. I could probably figure out a way to fit it to touch both of these. But we're already not building crits. So I don't think we do it. I think we're going to figure out something to do with this hat. This affects jackets, right? So we're keeping this thing. This thing's just, there's no room for anything. This has to be where? Top edge of the inventory. Okay, so that's affecting that. This is affecting both of those. Can't get that back in there. It's really awkward. Okay, this doesn't have to touch. So is there a better positioning? It didn't change anything, did it? I don't like it. Okay. Up to 198 order, though. Now, acid damage is not bad for this guy, too, but it's chaos and all that, so... At the very least, I can drop the sword, but it doesn't fit neatly into there. Like, I could have this right here, and then that's touching that, it's in line with that, it's touching that. But... I don't know. This wants to be adjacent to more staves. We lose one adjacency there. These being the same angle is kind of hurting me. I want this to be touching all the staffs too. Like it. We're losing 30 acid damage because we only have 4, not 5 touching this now. Oh, was it witch only? Yeah, that's witch only. Oh, the bard? Yeah, the bard's gonna do a lot of what his support stuff is, but I don't have him set up for damage yet, and that's okay. That's okay. He's gonna do what he's supposed to do. Actually, he sort of does. His ability is doing damage based on order, right? I forget now. I forget. I don't like any of the changes I just made. Not a fan. I mean, that's... We can work with this. It's technically a weapon. So that's more acid damage. Yeah, why not, right? I'm happier. Precious, yeah, we're all surrounding the ring. And nobody has any mana. More rings! Affects weapons, gives health, loses mana. So this is usually like a key item if you want to have armor on the paladin but have nothing but weapons. Like this is how you can make him do a lot of damage and still tank. The mana is fine. Losing the mana is just fine. I would like to probably figure out a way to get that on there. Yeah. Pretty though. If I keep these, there's really not going to be that many more options for me. I'm going to swap these two, see if I can figure that out somehow. Nope. Not as is. What I just had. We can still just have it touching one. Oh. Don't need order. Did I just leave it like that? I'm gonna leave it like that. Yeah, bonus acid damage equal to the target equal, based on his order. Order bonus is doubled. So he's got a lot of order, but no mana, of course. He's at 200. He'd do 400 damage. Acid damage on the boss fights if he has mana. And I do have this mana potion. Just the one. They both need it. No, I should have healed up there. It's a jacket. So jackets give that dodge and initiative. What do we at for dodge? Are we losing dodge? Oh, the dodge doesn't matter. This thing's killing all my dodge. Okay, so that it's just giving initiative, and then we don't care. So this is giving 100 health and 12 initiative. Where if I drop something like this, I don't want to lose the mana. I don't want to lose the mana. Yeah, so I'm not. If we keep that anyway, which we are. Do we go for the mana restore? We're gonna keep spending it willy-nilly. Go for some permanent stat upgrades. We got another floor to go. Let's go stats. We're gonna waste that mana. Crit chance for myself. Yeah, I can sell the unwanted. It's fine. It doesn't hurt to have it there. It'll auto sell later. Might be bugging somebody's OCD though. I don't know. Not my intent to cause you pain. But we do have 24% crit chance, and this stacking it seems okay. We've already talked about how slash doesn't really work with my character. The mana would be fine, but I think crit chance. I wasn't really building any crit damage, but it's just kind of nice. It's nice to see that crit. But not today. Not today. These are not going to help me. I have the one chance here. Of course, I got 4 rolls, but only can use 1. I'm not going to bother. Yeah, items auto sell. Okay, so increases Sentinel's health and armor, which I think we already did once. Armor and thorns. I don't like thorns. Because a lot of times I forget about the thorns damage and I kill myself. Allie's not doing bad. Instruments get 24 order bonus. That is a lot of vampirism. I don't know if there's any way that fits anywhere. And we don't have any instruments over here. Bard only. I could potentially just swap this out for something taking less space and maybe find a way to fit that. Exactly the same. It's 27 order, and that's 24. Now it comes to 20. Of course, this I can do that because we're still running around with this flute. I don't know. The harpsichord. Instruments, Ritz? You guys are all about the instruments. I mean, there's no. I'm gonna hold on to it. We can start stacking up some instruments. We didn't save that many. I've got this here. 24 order, whereas this is armor and order. Of course, the armor items we're picking are huge. This is not nearly as helpful as I had thought. So there is that. It is giving some crit chance. We're up to 10% crit chance, but crit chance with a 40 is not doing much. Having him actually have weapons that give some acid damage and things like that might really change turn the tide on this. I'm gonna hold on to it. I'm not against switching, but I don't think we have enough stuff to justify it yet. Really would have liked to have another mana potion just now. Do we go for just like a regular item so that we can match something? I think I'm struggling with so much item space. I'd rather just have like the raw stats and then go over here and get myself some mana, or get the bard the mana. Star, thank you for the sub. Really appreciate that. Thanks so much. Very encouraging. Yeah, right, guy. I think I'm leaning towards training too. Like, it's not like we have the most amazing items, but it's a struggle to try to fit new items in, and training's always good. It's not going to leave us or anything. More instruments. Minus acid damage. Why would you do this to me? 50 order is huge. A hat. Minus acid damage. Crit chance initiative. That's a much smaller armor item that I could throw over here to trigger this. But I think we're going to grab the lyre. 50 orders a lot. You know, if we have mana, it's so much space. Like, this is just... I can actually equip this right now. That's an upgrade. Feels bad. Feels bad. Crit damage. Now, 25% crit chance. We get no benefit from crits, but crits are fun. They're just naturally a fun thing to have. It's just we get no benefit. We could do the crush damage. We talked about that a bit. Crush is better for my class than slash would be. So that's very much a possibility. All three are viable, but none of them are required for what we're doing. They're just stuff. Now, for 25% crit chance, just a huge amount. It's just a huge amount, but we're critting for 20% more, not double damage, you know? Hey, we got a hype train. If I can find something else that gives me crit damage, then we'd be really glad to be at 50% crit chance. Like, we'd be really happy with that. It's just, I'm also looking at the 14 difficulty class, when I can just grab this and just most likely get it, and I'm just gonna do it. Yeah, we would have struggled with the 14. Okay. As far as the crit, increases the chance of dealing critical damage. Critical damage is plus 20%. Increases the critical damage bonus. Is it a plus 120% or is it just 20% more? I think it's just the 20% more. I don't know if I can test it. We'll have to pay attention to when we see a crit. So let's pay attention. Now, when the enemy does not have more health than the damage I do, you do not see the full amount. So he has 280. We're only going to do 280 damage here, even though I do 534 or whatever. Actually, some of it's going to be hitting the armor, but whatever. Regardless, you're not going to see more than 280, so we can't really test on this. I could hit this guy, and maybe we test it. All right, let's see if we crit here. No, we did not crit. He crit. How much was that? $60. He did 60. Now, again, did he have more? How much health did he have at the time? Was 60 the total health that guy had? If 60 is total health, then we would not see more than 60 if he was capable of doing more. Isn't a basic crit just double? Well, traditionally, absolutely. I'm not disagreeing with that at all. Like, normally, crits are double. Like, that's just how a game crit works. But, you know, I'm seeing plus 15%, right? Like, is that double plus an additional 15%, or is it just 15%, which would be very underwhelming, you know? I hope it's not, but I'm preparing myself for that disappointment if that's the case. Okay, that's a lot of dodge potentially. Crit chance with armor, initiative, another staff, acid damage, affects armor. I could throw that over here if we stick with the armor plan. I don't... Where, though? How... This would affect armor as well. He's not going to have any dodge. So that doesn't matter for you. I could give him some acid damage. That doesn't matter. It'd be very nice to know for certain. I agree. I think it's 120. Okay, so maybe it was, but let's continue. Let's continue the test. No, we have like a base amount. Like the base amount is 15. I don't have anything that's giving crit damage, I don't think, on the character. Like that's just the base amount on the character. Yeah. Yeah, 15 is his base amount, and 15 is his base amount. Neither of them have any bonus to crit damage. I think I might have 20 as base amount. I don't think I have any plus crit damage for you either. Just, I think your hero might have... We have crit chance, but I don't think... I think 20 is your crit damage base. Like, I think all of our crit damage are the base amounts. But is it 20 or 15 or 120 or 15? That I just don't know. Can we make that staff fit instead of this? Make it instead of this. Works. Just another instrument. Now it's a staff that's getting affected by this. A little bit more vampirism. Not a big deal. Okay, do we get some mana back? How far? We're pretty far from the boss. So we're going to use up all our mana again if we do. Realistically, from a game design standpoint, the game offering a 25% crit chance just to do 20% more damage is very, very timely. Exactly, that's what I was talking about, disappointment. But it's not in a vacuum because you're going to have the rest of the run to build up that 20% damage. Like, you could see, conceivably, not that it's a great idea, but a dev could say, well, they will eventually have more damage to go with that crit chance, and then overall it'll be good. But you're right, like, 50% crit chance when you're only doing 20% bonus when you crit is not exciting, not what we would want to see from a player perspective at all. Quite kill, and they're both gonna go unless we crit. So we get 240 and 500. I'll go for this. If we kill him, we'll know it was a crit, but we won't know how much. That won't help us because we're 20% of our 500 would do the full kill, just like a double would do a full kill. So it won't really help us. Now their attack power is 262. Didn't it crit for 262 though? Maybe I just missed that. $303. What did it mean? Okay, so order. For him to do 303, he must have been casting a spell, which is doubling. His spell doubles the order, so he should be in the 400s. Regardless, but it didn't kill him. Right? It goes too quick sometimes. I'm not really sure. I can get another hammer. Throw on here. A lot of chaos. I just don't have room. I don't know if I have room for this hammer either. Probably gonna go gems just to have something that I don't have to swap out in order to benefit from. Although, do we need the campfire? This side has an elite and a gem. Sure. 600 vampirism. I'm not gonna be able to use these, sadly. Need to start throwing these at whatever we're fighting. Problem is we're doing quite well. Like I don't really need them. Okay, we're gonna hit the big guy, even though I should hit this thing, but we're not. We're gonna hit the big guy. Okay, so our damage, we have some crush damage kind of polluting this. Our basic acid damage, if we crit, I'm looking at the acid damage amount, right? So we're doing 459, and he has 641. He'll still have some armor because of crush. We can ignore that. If we can manage to get a crit here, we get some information. 743. But hold on. 743 was the total number, including the crush. Right? But the crit counts the crush as well. So, okay, my total attack is 539. The crush is doubling. I think it's only 20%. So we're getting we're getting an extra 80 from crush. So 539. I'm 539 plus the 80, so 619, and then we're getting just 20% of that, right? $742, $743. It's only 20%. It is only 20%. We have learned. We have done the science. Mission accomplished. Okay, so that's not the end of the world though, because there is a full-on stat for you to stack, and it's crit damage, and the warrior's usually the guy doing the thing. The warrior's usually the one doing it. I've actually had a run where I had a bunch of crit chance and a bunch of crit damage, and he was critting. It was great. But now we know. Now we know. Galahad, can you sell some of the space waste low-level equipment out of the storage to make room for good, better storage? Yeah, we absolutely could sell some of that, but it you know, it wasn't hurting anything. Wasn't hurting anything. Yeah, and the crit should have killed that if it was double. Yep. So we just need to get some crit damage if we're gonna have some crit chance. We're gonna bother. The Drum of the Desert March. Minus crit damage. Tons of initiative in order. Or a hat. Is this enough to justify? Switching over. Again, we're getting 360 armor. The crit chance is not a big deal. Not only is it only 15%, but our attack is only 40. So this crit chance helm is awesome with 18% crit chance now, but it's not doing anything. It would if I could fit it on my character, right? Crit with the acid over here. I don't know if I can figure that one out either. Okay, so 24 order, but how many things can we actually realistically, how many instruments can we have adjacent to that? So 1, and I can try to have sell this thing too. A fair amount. It's 6 wide, so this is the width here. If I put that, that's like on the hypothetical edge. So it goes to the edge here. And then this would be 24 with 5 items for the order stacking. This is giving us 27 4 items, so I think we're ahead on order. Now, we also would lose 200 health from those. Another 50. We'd lose... I don't think we're getting any dodge. Yeah. Initiative is 109. These things are not that amazing on their own. Now, this thing is giving some order on its own and things. Overall, we can get more order, I believe. Is it enough to justify not having armor and health? Let's see, we're at 198 order. 650, 360, 198. I don't know if any other stats are really in play. Maybe vampirism some? Well, let's find out. Of course, to do this, I'm gonna have to start selling stuff. that's not the one. I had to adjust things, and now I don't know how I fit it. It fits so well. That was over and that was up, right? Like that's what we were doing. We have 100 more order. No defense at all. Is that worth it for 100 order? A little less initiative, but more or less the same. Really, it's only order that we're getting out of this. If he has mana, then order matters. If he doesn't, then order's just a huge waste. I think for the moment, it's not worth it. I think there's too many common items here that are not compounding. I'm going to switch it back. If I can remember how. And this is not a bad hammer, I just don't have a rope here unless we get rid of something. What if I just didn't use this thing, right? Because this thing's 100 crush and 8 fortitude, but other than that, everything else is the same. This is, we get a little bit more crush, but we gain space. And then I could actually have that touching both. And then all of a sudden, everything is much better. Okay, I like that. Even have some order. Look at that. Okay, I like that. Okay. Slash acid damage though. I don't think I have anything that's doubling anymore. I think we're guaranteed to get this with the extra roll. Got plenty of them anyway. Yeah, because this isn't doubling the gems. That's not doubling the gems. But we could have more acid damage, which we have a spell that lets us double the acid amount. It would be nice for the bard to actually do some damage in the first place. The problem is, what do I put that on? Because we're considering swapping everything out. And at that point, it's kind of like, I don't know. Like, I can just keep it as is, but if as soon as we put the gem in, we're definitely keeping it as is. With maybe better, items. I guess we do want to have the initiative that gives, the 20 initiative from that. But I don't mind the idea of him actually doing some damage. All right. I know I could probably get way more out of this, but the fact that he does nothing kind of bothers me. So now he's just more than doubled his damage. Oh, I was going to swap in one of the lesser things, but oh well. Not bad. Fancy hammer. Crush damage order and more hammers crush damage order. That's a lot of crush damage from that. And significantly less. Like, same order. It does give 4 mana. It's got 2 slots. This has 2 slots too. No, I sold. And an instrument. We just committed to something. 10 order after each combat. We're going to probably equip that regardless. So this is giving mana, initiative, order. Other instruments give order. Rotates automatically after every battle. And then just gives 10 order every combat. So this just keeps stacking. This we just saw. There's no way I'm going to have room for both of those. Like, I think we're just going to be swapping this in right here. I can take this out too. Yeah, okay, so... Now it's touching, that's touching 2. It's fine. It's fine. And then we grab this. We go over here. We figure out what do we do? Is it concert time? And this thing's gonna rotate. I can't see what it's... Okay, so it's only going to be on those 4 sides, and automatically rotates every time. So it's not always giving that order bonus, but it will often enough. I just put that necklace down. I can still have the necklace in the corner somewhere. It's not going to hurt anything. Maybe we can still fit in armor, but you know, these are all huge. This counts as an instrument. I don't want to sell the hammer, but I'm probably going to have to. If we're committed, then I think we're just selling all the common armor here. This thing is up to 20% crit chance. I don't know if there's still a way to fit everything. Might be too greedy. $89 order. Don't fit this, and that's fine. Oh, this is not the spot for this. Oh, right, because of rotation. Oh, rotation. Rotation's gonna kill me. So eventually I can have 3 if I just leave it in that corner. I don't want to leave it in the corner, but that's what fits the current setup. This is always gonna have that order. This is sometimes gonna have that order. Like, I don't wanna not have this touching things because it's always 24. This is sometimes 27. I don't have to have the stuff up here, but I like the acid damage that we did on this. I like the fact that we're getting 27 order just by hanging out with another item. This giving 20% crit chance with our 3% crit damage. What is killing my crit damage? The drum is killing the crit damage. I'm so glad that we got so much crit out of this thing. You're saying swap the drum? Drum should touch the because of quality. What do we mean by quality? Like, obviously I can move things around, but I don't know what that means. You're just nitpicking. Okay. All right. I'm gonna run with this. We already sold all the other stuff, so we're stuck with it, but I'm gonna run with it. We are now a one-man band. Banshee's Cry. Damage to the target, corruption to all enemies. Ooh, that is nice. It just costs a lot. And then Call of Hunger. Bonus acid damage based on vampirism. Really? 373. Is that something I would actually use over applying more damage? And like, so the thing is, it's expensive, is why I wouldn't use this. But it does do damage, and it still applies corruption, so everybody's doing more damage. Like, that's just much better to me. I'm just gonna be selling potions at this point. What's that worth? I don't know. I want this. These are what I want on the boss. Actually, I'd like this too, especially if I had picked the ability. Oh, we could have had 600 more vampirism. We could have had that other ability. Just missed out on that one. 600 more damage for the boss fight. Missed out on that. Okay. Two of these three I want to have for the boss fight. Okay, we could do an elite. Use up one of my items. Get a thing here. I don't really know if I want more of those. But the elites are giving me great items. I think the thing I'm missing about the game that I wish there was is that instead of everything being an item reward, which you quickly run out of space, I want relics. Slay-the-Spire has relics, you know, the party passive bonus things. We've been playing a lot of Guild Run, that has a lot of relics. Relics are like my favorite when it's this party-wide passive buff. For all sorts of synergies. Like, that's what I'm missing, is relics. Something that beyond just the items, but like a way to make combos through just progressing the run. I think that's what I'm missing. You know, get a relic reward instead of 2 item rewards, because I can't fit 2 item rewards. I do another one. We're using up mana pretty quick here. So clearly he needs to have mana to be able to use all that order I'm giving him. What do we have here? Vampirism, order, and initiative. A mantle that's not massive. Health, mana, chaos. Hood bonus, which we have gotten rid of. This is a hat, not a hood. This will be better than one of those, right? There's a hat. More crit chance. Affects jackets. Of course it does. Plate armor affects helmets, which, yeah, we have that too. Can't fit anything. I'm just grabbing it, but I don't think it's gonna fit anywhere. We don't care about crit chance because it doesn't do anything. Now without having crit damage, and then this, I'm gonna swap with just this right here, initiative and order, or the mana. The mana. It was just more order, really. Getting tons of initiative out of that thing, though. I do want the mana. 4 mana is not much, but he's burning through it. So am I. What is it? The Unbreakable Tomb affects weapons, health, mana, less acid, gain fortitude, gain order. This is a paladin ring for me. I don't really think we're fitting it. I'm not really getting that much bonus out of these armor things. Like, we didn't end up stacking it. We have a ton of armor. Like, I still want to have... This is 600 bonus armor right here. Like, we're getting a lot of armor. Now, all the instruments are... Hold on. All the instruments are weapons. I can lose a little bit of acid damage, but we can gain like 28 mana here and a bunch of fortitude and order. Right? Yeah, I'm fine with that. 36 fortitude. And a bunch of health. Yeah. It's good stuff. Okay. This would be a time to use my AoE corruption, but I think I'm going to be trying to save my mana. Oh. Oh my. Still need more max health, don't I? 3! Lifesteal. Okay, I'm gonna work on some mana. I need our bard to actually heal somebody other than himself. This is the most selfish bard I've ever seen. Items improve stats. I keep forgetting that we've been doing that. So yeah, we're getting all the crit chance, and then this is gaining tons of order, isn't it? Yeah, we're up to 500 order now. We have a jacket. Health. Slash crush. Dodge. Okay, I might fit this on my main character. 225 health. Almost a 50% health boost with a little bit of dodge. We'll lose out on the crush, but I almost died right there. So I think that's going to be worth it. Probably just drop the Rod of the Mage. Oh, maybe we drop this thing. Because it's not a staff. Then... Nope. Yes. Get that 3% crit damage. Very important. Gerson, okay. Have a great time. Go get your food. Watch something with friends. And hope you enjoy the game tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, we just needed some defense there. Like, we had nothing. And this does buff jackets. This is a jacket. Do I justify dropping this other staff? Losing some more acid, vampirism, but gaining a hat that rotates. Oh, the rotate. It would get 200 health, it get crit chance, which you don't really care, and then dodge and initiative when it's pointing the right way. Oh, no, hold on. That's Bard only, isn't it? It's Bard only. Whatever. Good question, right guy. Using a potion does not take a turn. It does not. So I actually could, like, spend this, you know, use up this potion, because we got another one waiting, because I can only bring 2. We're getting close to the boss. I could spend it on my guy here if I wanted. what I'm gonna do. Spend it on myself. Because I have self-control and I don't have to spend the mana non-stop. You know? We'll buff him with the mana potion and during the boss battle. The order will make a difference on the boss battle, but I don't really need it for the whole rest of the run. Hey, it's a jacket. I'm not doing the jackets. It affects a hat with an aura. We totally could combine those. I'm not doing it. 50 health after every combat. It's a very healthy jacket. Another jacket. Also buffs hats with order. 20 mana. And a lot of crush damage on that. I can't fit that anywhere. It's not happening. We're selling that. Slash and crush. Helmet. We do still have our plate stuff. It's giving a little bit of order, 6 order and 40 armor. So that's an outright improvement on over this one without changing anything else out. So just health and armor, and a little bit more order. I don't think there's any way I can fit that in a meaningful way without changing everything again. Like, we could do the armor stuff, but I think we're kind of stuck with what we have here. Little hammer for helmet? Well, the little hammer is a big deal, actually. The little hammer is giving me 182 crush damage. We actually are losing a little bit of slash for it. So 140 damage and 15 order. If we swap the helmet in, we get a little bit of armor, a little bit of order, a little bit more health and armor. So I'm keeping my damage. Because this has hammer adjacencies. Alright, now we're gonna buff we're gonna heal up the bard again. Quiet. From behind to go wham, and I'm serious. Danger section ahead, we need to rest. That's precisely why I don't help with morale. Silence. You need silence. Proper rest. Nothing helps better than a good tale. Do not stop talking. I will carry myself conscious. Someone's carrying. They're okay. They're okay. Anyway, we'll be able to actually use his abilities. We're going to go for the right side. So now he's actually doing his thing here. Doubling the order bonus. Which is really just damage, and it's not much damage right now, is it? Like, it's really just not the greatest. But he is doing like 900 heals. Or maybe that was his damage. Dodge. Heal my paladin for once. Ah. Ooh, mana, crush damage, order, and 100 crush damage in order. That is something. It rotates though. It rotates. This rotates too. This is a chaos. Buffs mantles. We're not doing it. We're not doing this. It does have some 32 mana. It's got 9 dodge on its own, and just forget the aura. Like, we could do that. Mantle. This is jacket, right? Yeah. This is really nice if it's pointing the right way. Like, that 100% would swap out for this, right? Actually break even on the damage. If it's pointing the right way. I can get that too, along with this. I do have a problem. By the end of every run, like, it's just kind of like, I can't use the stuff. All the rewards you just can't use anymore. So it does get a little sad. So 802 is my current damage. 827. This will rotate in 2 battles. So when that rotates, it's going to buff both of them with 100 damage. That would be nice. Really tempted to just drop one of these. Losing 200 armor from that too, though. But if we did... we have some options again. Like, I can throw this back in here. $40. We decided that this is better anyway, right? Is there a way to have this touching both? I don't have this though. Honestly, the fact that this is giving the 200 health and the 100 armor, like, this is out of date. I can even actually have 5% dodge back if I don't have this thing growing. So if I did that and I could do this, now I can throw in that. I gotta touch everything. I could throw this hammer in, but it's only touching 2. This is 100 crush damage. Oh. Hmm. I know that this is the whole point of the game, is the puzzle here, but it can get pretty frustrating. Can I turn this? Yeah, I can. Is there a right place to have it? That I don't know. I'm trying to get this in here too. You can also have this both of these touch multiple things, and they're not wanting to cooperate there. Doesn't need to be touching that. I'm just trying to see if I can more efficiently use the space. I don't think so. Drop both helmets over the armor. Instead of this armor. Because the armor's only giving anything if we have a helmet. Okay. Like this... It's still doing the minus dodge, and that's fine. This one's not that important. This gives a bonus to plate armor of 6 order, which is nothing. They both do. This is the only helmet that I really care about at all, because it's just the 100 armor. And then if it's, you know, 75 health, 100 armor. This is only 40 armor. Like, this is... If you don't have plate armor to buff, this is not really doing anything. I don't need either of these helmets. Having them does give armor bonus from this thing, which is nice. Because we still want to have a bunch of armor for him to tank. It's still his primary job. Is this it? Is this the answer right here? I think that's the answer right there. This will touch 2. He's touching 2, but he should be able to rotate and always be touching 2. I'm keeping it. We're moving on. Okay. Mana, this is only for my main character. 120 crush damage. Or the crit damage. Okay, we didn't get that extra jumbo crit chance. I could have. We had that discussion. Had we done that, this would be a great time for the crit damage. Not much crit damage. But 120 crit crush. I might just do the mana, guys. I'm just doing the mana. We're basically just... Oh, wow. We're just trying to make sure that we have what we need for the boss fight. Weapons. Mana, minus fortitude. Vampirism and chaos. Is that... I mean, that's a lot of chaos potentially. A whole lot. Depending where we place this. Oh yeah, the potion I do need to equip. Thank you. Forgot we used it up. Is there a world where I can make that work? These are all small buffs. Like, these aren't really doing a lot. The vampirism is nice. We got some common things I could just drop. I'd have to figure out a way to have this touch more than one. We'd gain a bunch of vampirism, though. Potentially, if I drop this, I can put the ring here and then just have another thing, like a hat. I think I'm okay with that. Now, you know, we get the chaos, 80 chaos. We're dropping 20, but it's a pretty close thing. We're losing the acid damage from here, but, you know, we're managing. And then I can throw in a hat with crit chance. Hold on, is this a jacket? It is. Hold on, we can actually get a jacket bonus. We can get dodge. Or, oh, that's mantle. But 32 mana. 32 mana. Don't know if we care about the crit chance very much. We're not building it. 9% dodge. Okay, 32 mana, 9% dodge. Baby Druski is upset about something. Okay. Okay, this is leading up to boss, so we're gonna probably not worry about the gem. I'm probably just gonna get mana for my guy here. Again, because he'll spend it. Amy, how's the run going? This is still our first run of the day, and we are closing in on the last boss. We lost our balance. It's a tactical concern. Actually, and that's why you asked so quietly. What are you hiding like that? It's not concern. Of course, it certainly did not invent the most effective anti-ogre spell either. Oh, you're banned from the Discord? Sorry about that. I'll have to look into that. It might have been just because of the... Like, you know, we try to prevent spam accounts and things like that. So it might have just been, like, looking like it. Anytime a person has a name that... this is just the reality of the world we live in. In a gaming forum, if somebody has a name that has a female implication, then usually it's a bot. Usually it's a bot, right? Like that's just how it goes. And so that might have been what happened there. But I think I can get that rolled back after the stream, if you can be patient. Okay, so. New abilities, this is the weapons. Razor Sharp Claws deals slash damage to the target with highest defense, which is actually great, or to the entire, well, the entire party's not great, because then it'll do bonus damage to everyone else. We don't have armor. It's great if it's only my tank, because the tank is not taking the double damage. Then we have acid damage, which ignores armor, which is really bad for everybody. But it's not going to do double. We'll see. See the bots with armor? Yeah, absolutely. Alright, boss time. We are going to throw the potion on it. So now he's got minus 400 fortitude, so all of our attacks do 400 more damage. And next time I'm going to throw this mana potion probably on my guy here. Which will give us some armor. Which won't matter because he's doing acid, so that doesn't matter anymore. I'll just save it for one of these other guys. We can just do damage and apply more corruption. Double damage to the target. We want to stack some corruption first, though. This does double corruption. Double corruption. That is up to 800. Ooh, that's painful. Alright, we're going to do the attack and corruption, which will give us a heal. Our paladin's almost dead. Don't like it. Heal the right person. Yes, you finally chose the right one at the right time. Who'd have thought? Apply more corruption. Double the acid damage is not bad. And a weakness, so his damage is reduced by 8. That's probably already saved me once. I think I'm going to just do damage and regular corruption instead of the double corruption, but that way we're still chipping away at the health. Unless we miss completely. Okay, he healed me, thank you. Good heal. I'm going to do this again, then we're probably going to use our potion. But we're stacking that corruption. Oh, he's got a heal, doesn't he? Every 3 turns restores his armor and health. Applies focus. Got it. Dodges. We're getting there. This should be it. Okay, that is my first attempt and first win of the second difficulty, the medium difficulty. Obviously, we're going to have to go to hard, but you can only do it with the character you've beaten it with, so we'd have to do the witch again if we go straight to hard. This was never meant to be. By the way, I love this, I don't know what's behind the door. I have no idea, but I love just the setting here. I've already commented numerous times on how I enjoy the art of the game, and this is great. What is this? I don't know. It was never meant to be. The rupture cracks in the very air, ash upon my tongue, the screams of others. I see myself from afar, and the voice issuing from my lips is not my own. Oh, that's right. So we kind of the lore for each character is kind of building as you progress the game. The witch evidently went to some sort of academy. Was some sort of prodigy in that, experienced some experiments on them because of that, and evidently, I think, perhaps had some sort of explosion of power and killed everyone, is my inference from that. I see myself from afar. The voice issuing from my lips is not my own. My hands are slick with blood and sickens me. If this was me, why does it hurt so? They feared me. Was I right then? Did they truly deserve this? In the abyss, a void where the answer should be. Proved your worth, onward ally. Constantine, good morning to you. What is it that are having you buy this week? This is called Lootbound. It comes out tomorrow. There's a demo, but I am playing the 1.0 of the game as a a preview, and we just beat it's Slay-the-Spire mixed with, and I can only presume Backpack Battles because I've not actually played Backpack Battles, but there is a lot of inventory management and like buffs that you're arranging in your inventory. Metagame progression as well, which is these memory shards, so we're going to utilize those. New companion ability on the witch, new difficulty unlocked. Got another seal. Now, 3 seals unlocked the laboratory, so this is going to be new as well. Also, we can start with the paladin, which is awesome. Very excited about that. Laboratory, though. Use memory shards to create new potions for the consumables room during run. Unlock this consumable for the first biome. Shield potion of the dungeon. Greatly increase an ally's armor. So first biome. Second, simultaneously restores mana and health to an ally. Nice. It's a rejuve potion, right? Bombs. Damage to enemy health, ignoring armor. High damage to enemy's armor. Damage to enemies. High damage to enemy's health. So it's kind of your acid and crush and slash. Increase allies' damage and initiative. Allies' vampirism and critical hit power. Significantly reduce the enemy's fortitude. Reduce the enemy's initiative and fortitude. Not bad, but I don't think I'm going to spend the points on it. We're going to save those for like permanent unlocks for the characters, which I think is going to be more important. So, you know, for example, like I could have just outright more stats. Like if we're going to go play the Paladin now, which would have to be on the easiest difficulty, sadly. I can't just go straight to the hardest because we'd have to work our way up. But he could just have a ton of crush damage, plus 50. You know, we could. It increases the cost, so we could do a plus 100. Give more mana. You know, go back to our warrior, get more crit chance there. And there's options. There's options. So let's look at the Paladin. Yeah, because I can't pick my difficulties. He has a crushing blow, second wind, and then deals damage to the target, restores armor, and applies fury to self. Okay, so unlike being a companion, he's not restoring armor to himself for free. It's a little sad. And yeah, no order bonus being doubled. Like this guy had the order bonus being doubled. So far I've had, by far, my easiest runs have been with the Witch. So if we're going to try for the max difficulty on the stream, I think we're just going to do another run with the Witch instead of running with the new Paladin, which I'm excited about, but I don't want to go down in difficulty. I want to be able to see if we can manage to beat the max difficulty here and kind of complete the circle. And if that's the case, then let's go back and upgrade the Witch for the run. Now, I did actually have some problems with the health pool. Bard run just to see what he's capable of. We sort of could, but same problem as the Paladin. They're both tier 1. Or not tier 1. They both would be level difficulty 1 on a run. And that's not a problem for the game. It's a problem just for streaming. Because I want to be able to push the difficulty. I want to be able to get to the max difficulty. You know? So that's kind of what I'm thinking is like, let's since we got it unlocked with the Witch, let's see how far we can take that. I'm considering a click of the health pool. Chaos and Acid, though, would be really nice to increase both of those from what we had last. I'm going to do this anyway. We almost died. Looks like I can only do that twice. Okay. Overall, that's a big set of buffs that we just got. So I know we just did it, but every run's a little different. It is a roguelike, so we just did the Witch, but I think that still is... It's going to be interesting enough to try to get it on the max difficulty. So the monster's damage, health, and armor are all increased. More rewards on victory. Keep our same die. Spent all my stuff anyway. The ash still grinds between my teeth. This memory will not let me go. It may feared me long before the ritual. Power is an insult to the small-minded. I'd almost accepted it that I am a monster, but monsters are hollow, and I feel the ache. The end is a blur, only the silence remains in a casket in the void. It calls to me, whispering a name I've yet to remember. Stay close, ally. There's but one shard left to find. Well, okay then. I do kind of wish that even if it were characters that would not eventually become heroes, I wish that there was more companions. The 4 total characters also being the 4 total companions mean that you don't have a lot of variety. I kind of wish that there was more events as well on the map. So like you could have an event where you find some guy and he's just like some guy that's lost in this cave and you recruit him and he turns out being like some other class, you know, or whatever. Like, you know, like I just want more. It's not that I have not had anything bad to say. I just am enjoying it. So because I'm enjoying it, I want more of it. You know, because replayability needs a lot of depth. And so just more would help with that as well. All right, we could do crit chance sword. There's our jacket. Just gonna upgrade our stats. Slash damage. We've already talked about how slash damage is not ideal for it, but still, 50 is a lot at the start. So is 20 mana, though. Let's go for the mana. Nice. Acid damage, vampirism, health and crit chance. Damage to the target applies corruption to all enemies. That was the one we ended last time. We also have the corruption and slow to all. I didn't really use that much, did I? Thought I would, but we ended up we were just clearing everything out, no problem. Health, dodge, initiative, armor, thorns. A little bit of dodge, maybe? Not using the order. If we go to the right, we can also get the ring. Acid damage, crit chance. Let's give it a go. Okay, this one we actually have a very good chance. The doubles will win. Let's do it. Come on. Or we just win outright. All right. Crit chance 20%. Okay. I vote warrior this time. The warrior does have the thorn cleave, so if we can make him tanky, he will have thorns. It's just different. It's something different to do. But I'll probably will need the bard to heal him after that. Like, I don't know if we're gonna get away from the bard. Okay. So bonus slash damage to the target based off of critical power. Of course, slash is kind of opposite of what I'm doing, isn't it? So slash isn't very helpful. I'm probably gonna need to make sure I have crush on mine just to clear him. Based on critical power, applies speed to a random ally. I don't really think I care about speed and initiative. It's not that big a deal to me. Deals damage to a random enemy. Applies thorns and increases armor to all. Deal damage to the target. Applies fury to all. Why are you hitting yourself is always yes. And that's like we could get even more with this, but this I forget. I think this casts. I think this one casts whenever a character has no armor. Or when the hero has no armor, is when I think he does this. Which means he's going to cast it all the time. Because my character has no armor, and so he'll never have it when I need him to have it. I don't think we pick this at all. I'm pretty sure I've learned that lesson. This one triggers if there's exactly one monster. Boss fights, but he'll run out of his mana very quickly. He'll never have it in time. Whatever. It'll be okay. Yeah, he adds thorns, but he has no, like, I don't think he has any vampirism or anything like that. We're gonna have to give him some work here. Might even do this and apply corruption so he can finish somebody. Doesn't finish anyone because he's struggling with the... Yeah. Not great. Not great. The fact that I'm ignoring armor and he can't get through the armor is a very bad combo here. So we could give him some crush damage. Some vampirism wouldn't be bad, but I think he just needs some crush damage. Help him get through that armor. You love defense in games? There's an anime called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Bo Fury? where a person plays a VR game and doesn't want to get hurt, so they just max out defense. That's hilarious. I usually am playing a tank. So World of Warcraft, I mained a pally tank back before it was cool. Back in, like, you know, the original 2004, you know, when we had Classic, you really couldn't, but I was doing it in Burning Crusade original. And never have done anything else since. Like, it was always tanking. So health, less acid, increased vampires. Okay, so this we are going to put on our guy here, so that way he can heal himself with the vampire. The initiative doesn't matter, he's already rock bottom anyway. I might swap this over. No, because I want to keep the acid damage. He's subtracting the acid, so that's fine. Abe Fair over on Kick. I appreciate the opportunity for us all to enjoy a ban, which did not trigger for some reason. I usually have it where it brings up a sloth to block the chat, but I've moved the chat over and it didn't do the sloth anyway. But appreciate the opportunity. I've not had a chance to ban anyone today. Thank you for that, for the spam. Yeah, let's get the mana. I feel like we're gonna need that. Yeah, so I was actually Wrath of the Lich King came out. For anyone who's familiar with the whole World of Warcraft timeline, Wrath of the Lich King came out, and I had never gotten during Burning Crusade. I had been going with no, it wasn't. It was actually during Burning Crusade. That's right. So in Burning Crusade, I had decided I wanted to go get a Thunder Fury, and I had actually gotten one of the two bindings from Molten Core. The Baron binding from Molten Core in just a regular raid. And I think I might even had that since Classic or whatever. Like, not Classic, the current version, but like since the original. But anyway, I never could complete it. And so in Burning Crusade, not Wrath, where it became trivial, but in Burning Crusade, I was actually going and soloing Gar as a tank with Thorns damage, because he has a whole bunch of little guys. And it was about a 3-hour. I actually had a system, like every Saturday, I would go and spend a 3-hour thing where I could kind of AFK and kill him passively. And, you know, I'd bring a couple stealth potions to get past the patrols and everything. And I was doing that at level 70. And there was only just a couple of people that were doing that. It became very common at 80 because it's so much easier. But yeah, at 70, I was doing that with all that passive damage. And then, you know, we fight Mount Highjaw, right? And I was topping the damage meter because of all the Thorns damage, because of all the guys that were coming in. Now, this guy not having any armor is a problem. Big problem. Who are you going to attack? You're going to attack the back guy, so we might as well get some corruption on him. If you're not dead. You're going to be dead. Okay. So, we're going to lose the run, I think, but we've learned a valuable lesson to not pick new things on the hard difficulty. Like, you can't just do new things for the sake of new things on the hard difficulty. This guy you can bring back in a campfire. Will I have the luxury of that? I don't know. Vampirism and Order. Crush damage and Fortitude. Have a campfire. I don't think I want to do the elites. Like, I think we're in trouble. That's what I think we could say. Do we have any... It's something. It's dodge. Who knows? Maybe it'll help. think they go left to right after. Well, now he's going to definitely target that one. Vex armor gives initiative. More health and vampirism. Slash damage. Like, I don't mind having the chaos on my character, but I have nothing to put that on. Like, right now, the only thing that I can really put this on is that ring. Everything else is up for being dropped. So if it's going to go on the other character, then it's slash damage. That's all there is to it. Double. Nope. Okay. Not happening. It's stacking Fury on us, which is nice. Okay, a witch-only hood. Health, mana, vampirism gives a ton more if we have a mantle. Is that what this is? It's a jacket. And it rotates, which is irritating, but it's there. We also have a staff bonus. This is a staff. Acid damage, dodge, and gives a little more acid and chaos. We can try this, but it's going to be rough. Now that looks cool. Slash damage, crit damage. More slash damage and crit chance per sword, or a really cool staff. Acid damage dodge with chaos. 4 staves on the bottom. I mean, they're both fine. They're both good. This is not that much chaos. It is dodge. I only have the one sword so far. Okay. Decision's made. Sword gives more. It's too late. It wasn't the right color. Very important. You are giving armor. You're playing thorns. Dodge. A little bit of lifesteal. The lifesteal might keep us in this game. Okay, now I think he's got enough to take him out as long as the armor doesn't happen, which I can make the armor not happen. So he should be able to take out this other guy. Okay, and then I think I'm gonna get some mana back. Let him do his thing with the lifesteal. More mana back. Order. Armor in order. Crush damage order. Right, pay attention to who's crushing and preserve his armor. And we could get some more armor for him, but I think weapons are more important with the vampirism here. And we could get the crush damage. A little less order, but it's crush. Got a decent amount of health here and a decent amount of vampirism. We still could... 168 is not going to be like the ultimate game-winning choice here. I'm gonna go for an item. I feel like we don't have anything major to go with. Thorns. No. Crit chance sword. It's not as nearly as good as the one we just passed on. Jacket. We needed a mantle, right? That's unfortunate. Let me try for the sword. Buff the other swords. Or not. Okay. Now, there are a bunch of different enemy boss types that you can build. Today, we've seen the same one twice now, but there's at least 3 that I'm aware of. Okay, so it restores health and armor, increases critical power, or increases the vampirism, which is health, which might... So, I didn't do vampirism last time because vampirism is just going to stack. The longer we take, the more he heals per attack. But the fact that he's not going to be giving himself armor might be more important here. This gives armor, which would hurt our slash ability. So I'll give it a try. Could be wrong, but at least, you know, I was able to walk you through on why I made the choice. I need to try to conserve some mana. This guy stacks thorns. This guy we might be able to just eliminate here. I'm gonna go for mana. Slash damage and crit damage. Mana and order. It's really awkward to fit there. I could kind of squeeze that in there, but then what do I do with the giant hammer here? Okay. This is not permanent. Rod of the Rotting Feather. Acid damage and chaos, and staves give more acid damage. Battles remaining before it disappears. No, it's ethereal. Oh, I hated that in Diablo and all that. Like, items that disappear is the worst. In fact, that is the reason why I never played through Breath of the Wild. I hated, emphatically, I hated the items breaking all the time. That's not what I'm playing Zelda for. I was so frustrated with it, I was just like, no, this isn't worth my time. And I get it, it probably, you can mitigate it later on in the game. I just I didn't want to go there. Not worth my time. Okay, acid damage, dodge, decent amount of dodge, gives some chaos. Very large plate armor here, minus slash. Oh. This is buffing staves. This is buffing staves. Okay, and then you're just doing your own thing, spin to win. I don't really know which one I want to do first. Vampirism, acid, yeah. I should be getting mana. Damage chaos, and it's a staff. Not bad. We're getting, like, that's 3 buffs. That's 3 buffs. So chaos is getting up there. They're not huge buffs. +8 is not a huge deal, but it's getting there. I don't really know if I want to put a gem in these. I don't know about that. rather just have pure stats. It's so hard to... Crit chance, crit damage, crush damage. We would be able to help our buddy quite a bit if we had some crush damage. Still, 15% crit damage, or crit chance, would allow me to get crit damage later. I'm gonna try for it. Easier rolls, easy peasy. All right, got it. First try. Okay. Yeah, I kind of wish there was more characters. I do. I think it's gonna be Bard, since we're always gonna need health restored. I've got a tank character, but he's not tanking very much, though. He's not a very good tank. Maybe I do go for the Paladin. Okay, we've learned we don't want to do this, right? This one will trigger whenever somebody's half health, and that makes sense to me. Okay, now I don't necessarily know what your theme is going to be. An elf would be a cool concept for crit build. Yeah. Well, and there's races, like you could have dwarves or whatever, but it seems like we're going more for class types. So, because you got bard, you got paladin. Where's your rogue? Where's your druid? Where's your ranger? There's some pretty common archetypes that we could definitely see play out and be quite fun. They might be DLCs, that sort of thing. I don't know what their business model's going to look like, but I just, like I said before, I'm enjoying the game. I want more of the game. Elves are usually archers. Yeah, I agree. Now, we do kind of have a weird, because of the art aesthetic being unusual, I don't know what an elf would look like with this, right? Like, this could already be an elf for all we know. Like, we got kind of like a lot of this mask type thing going. Like, everybody has a mask. So it's almost like, I didn't watch the show the whole way through. What was Full Metal Alchemist, was it? Where you got the guy in the suit of armor, and it was a spirit? It's almost like making me think of that. So anyway, I feel like race is less translatable with the art style than class would be, Because like this guy, you could say, well, he's he's bulky, he could be a dwarf, but in all the art he's super tall. He's not a dwarf, It's like, what is it? Vampirism. Just gonna go for the damage. I think right now it's gonna be about the item. Let's get more total items. We're gonna regret having all these items very soon, but for the moment. I'm gonna focus this thing. I know they are. I'd like to get rid of the corruption thing. Staff. Mana and dodge. More staff. It's getting that buff, I'm just not getting this buff. Silly stuff. Silly stuff mode engage. We're using a spell here. Are you all targeting random? Highest attack bar, so you're just gonna keep attacking. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Hey Gav, get him with the loot. That's right. Mantle and hood, 12% dodge. This affects mantles, which is huge. It's you can't even. There is no room to manage the inventory when they're this big. Like this is not a. I can't use either of them. I'll grab this just because of that, but I can move this over yonder, and then I still can't fit this anywhere. What are we getting out of it? 84 vampirism. It's actually a fair amount. Do something with that. And all my mana. Right, this one, this is like this is a really good item. All the weapons give health, armor, and vampirism, so really good. What we might end up doing is just deciding that that's going to move on. It's just better than that, isn't it? Well, we're losing mana instead, but it's still better. Based on chaos, which is okay. I just like this is good on bosses and it's cheap. Good for damage, bad for mana. Agreed, agreed. So, fortunately though, I'm not really worried about the warrior's mana. Like, he's already spent it. It's just not. It's not something that's a factor. I'm gonna go for both of the elites though, I think. Do we want to change out? Maybe? We're about to get another thing. Okay, so maybe we do throw this on the elite. Have my mana push in case I need it. I think we're good. I'm just gonna start getting my mana back. Math. It's fine. Thorns got him. Hey! The Will of the Forest Titan. Mana Crush. Hammer gives more crush, activates the place near the bottom, and doubles bonus from Blacksmith. Oh, I'm sold! Okay, what are we passing? We're definitely passing this. Helmets, Fortitude. Nope. I'm good. This is probably Paladin only, I'm guessing. Yeah, it is. And then Legendary Staff. Chaos. Acid Damage Dodge. Plate Armor. I don't think we're going to do any armor. We're going to be all in on all the weapons for everybody. That's what I think it's going to be. So we're just getting another staff for myself. If I swap this thing out. Chaos. 186 chaos. Okay, because you're touching 2. You're touching 3. And this isn't even touching anything unless I swap everything over again. Oh my goodness. Like, I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to deal with it at all. Okay. It's so annoying. Alright, so now, crush damage, and we want some blacksmith gems. And then this just needs to touch everything. Well, no, this needs to be on the bottom. And it buffs everything above it. Cool. But only hammers. This is not a hammer. I mean, it's whatever. But we'll want to get some blacksmith gems now. Suddenly that matters. Like, I think we're good. Like, I can just attack it, but I'm also thinking about just getting my mana back. I think we're fine. Doing a lot better than when the first floor when I thought we were going to be game over because I picked this guy. Feeling a little better about that. And now we could get the Helmet of the Jester Knight. Just like we always wanted. Okay, it's a plate armor buff. Thorns. Mantle. Affects hoods and rotates. Of course you do. This affects mantles. So we can just have them both spinning. This gives mana. 350 health, though. Clearly that's an upgrade from this thing. Another staff. Acid damage vampirism. Very nice. We want that. It needs to be on the top edge. This one's on the bottom edge. That's going to be awkward. And then a ring affects weapons, giving just tons of crush damage. We could absolutely use that too. Now, just having this means that all 4 of these are going to get the buff, and then he'll get 8 chaos or whatever, right? Because it'll have to be on the top. We'll move those down. Like, that's what, 76, 74 acid damage, a bunch of vampirism, plus the weapon itself. Like, this is great too. They're both really good, but this is like, that's 70 some, and that's 100 per. Like, that's 70 some after all of them. Oh. I'll lose a lot of health to do this. I could actually maybe put it on this guy, this guy instead. Move the helmet over. Partly because with the lesser health, like he's already tanking, but I don't necessarily want him to be tanking. He's gonna keep tanking though. I don't know. It'd just be easier to throw it over here, wouldn't it? Just start building around it. It's fine. Ah! What's the matter here? We'll move all of this, I'm sure. Oh, right. I want to have the hammer above this thing. Not a big deal. Get out of here. Crit damage. Now, didn't we get... We're at 35% crit chance. I think we're onto something now. Just gotta get it. Easy peasy. Come on. That's how we wanted. We want the win. All right. Birdie, thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate that. Good to have you. It's been a minute though, I think. I think we've been around, yeah. Have to sleep, have a great stream. Well, thank you for that. Have a good night, my friend. Really appreciate the support. Ooh, crit chance, damage, and order. A silly helmet. Yeah, we'll see you next time. So Thorns and initiative here. A mantle that I just don't want to mess with. Like these things, if they happen to be buffing each other, it's fine. But these, I'm not worried about those at all. I don't want to buff anything with them. I think we just grab this. Affects helmets with a ton of armor. Doubles from blacksmiths. Another? Okay. How do we make this work now? I just wish I could rotate, like flip, not rotate, but flip. Now, order. I don't know, because I can't review any of my abilities. I don't think we're getting any order benefit from you. I would get order benefit from him, but I don't think we're building around it, really. Still, having crit chance actually stacking up with some damage, now that we're getting a bunch of crush damage, that could scale into something. I just don't know. I don't know how effective here. This is an awkward mallet, trying to have that fit anything. We're losing 60 health here. Move this up one. Touching 2, you're touching 2, but you're touching 4. And it doesn't have to be that one, but this is minus 40. Yeah, everything's minus health with this. So very much our paladin is not a tank. He's a ret pally. Yeah, we've totally swapped the roles, haven't we? The paladin is the warrior and vice versa. The ret pally, because we've taken all of his health away. Okay, well, we're gonna run with that for the moment. Decent amount of crush damage, but I think we were actually doing more. Like I could do this instead. Way more crush damage. We just don't get quite as much crit. I think I like that better. And if we happen to get, you know, different swords or sort of whatever. This, no big deal. I guess mana is gonna be more important on me. Yeah, the corruption. Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be just fine. I guess I can give mana to our warrior. Simpletons do not make archwitches. Sentinel's health and armor. Armor and thorns. We'll be fine with the health. We'll be fine. Why is he tanking? I don't want him to tank. Mana Crush. They're both same size, and we're going to swap this thing out. So Crush damage and Fortitude. Mana Crush damage and Order. Mana Crush damage, okay. Is there a world where I can get this Crush damage bonus as well? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's okay. Ah. Crit damage. 60 mana. Whoa. Okay, now we've got a silly thing going with this crit. Like we can crit even though we have no damage. Ah. We do no damage, but we can crit. Or I can just get 60 more mana and cast all the spells. I think this is the smart one. Like this is not the character we're running. As much I've been doing crit this whole time and it's just silly. Like it's kind of just been a waste. I need 60 mana. 60 mana is such a big deal. That is huge. All right, we also want gems because we got a couple items that will give me double the gem value, and I can get 2 going this side. I'm gonna miss out on this. I think I'm okay with that. Double gem value is worth seeking out. So now that we have such a high mana pool, we also should get more mana regen because it's a 10%. Oh, our Pally has the highest attack power. These guys are hitting the ones with highest attack power. That's why everyone's going for the Paladin all of a sudden. I'm getting a little worried about him because he has no health left. Hammer giving more hammer bonuses. I'm all for that. This is only giving that one. So we are going to adjust. We have to figure this out. Not fit there. Paladin, he needs health because we're taking all of his health away from him. He's getting a lot of crush damage now. Like we're doing some DPS here. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be all right. 80 armor. You could double it on the pally. 50 chaos on my character, though. Obviously, the thorns would be good for the warrior, but I'm not building around it anymore. 50 chaos on my character. It's 160 armor on the pally. I'm doing 50 chaos. Which I can't double. I just realized we can't double that on my character. Speaking of double. Yeah, none of those are double. Oh well. I'm keeping this one, not necessarily keeping those. That's okay. We'll get more. Stop going for my attack damage guy. Why are you doing this to me? It's really not good. Initiative in order. All the drums are happening here. This is I can just fit this, so it's order. And it's a weapon. Less health. Perfect. I might use this lesser mushroom on our pally. Because they're going to keep hitting the pally. He does the highest defense. You're random, but you're the highest attack. But he's not going to get through the armor just yet. I don't know. That wasn't the right one, was it? I thought we were corrupting everybody. Did not. Okay. Yeah, I meant the all enemies one. Helmet. Health? What do we think? Do we actually need some health at this point? Actually fit that somewhere, right? Maybe. Thought for sure I'd be able to fit that. We actually are using acid, but only slightly. 4, 5, 6. And if I swap those to 5, we have more room. That's because that's not touching. I could give him the order. That's order translates to armor for him, so that's not bad. But I don't know. I could drop this. It gets me 100 health back. We lose 200 crush damage. Well, hold on. No, I don't. I could do this and go right back to losing that again. But this is giving the crit and everything here. We like the crit chance. And that's giving order from touching it, so that's fine. More gems. Well, we can double, but these are not going to keep anybody alive. You don't have any doubling value. This is the only one that's doing double. I can do double on the slash. We could just give our paladin 220 more damage, and when the armor's gone, he's still doing some damage. I don't like thorns right now. I don't think we're gonna do a lot of damage with thorns. Like I don't like it. Not a fan. If the enemies, most enemies target the guy with the highest defense rating, which is not, that's still the warrior. If I put thorns on the paladin, it's really not helping him do much because generally he's not the one getting hit. Generally, it's the warrior. We're gonna try this. Not that many, there's 2 slots. I think there might be one more item to get before the end here. 1. Okay, maybe 2. I need him to have vampirism though, so he heals himself a little. He has none. Highest defense, random. This applies thorns to self, but it's not scaling with thorns or anything. It just, you happen to have thorns. Now we actually have slash damage to lose. I don't think there'd be room. Might be able to find a way to fit that instead of this, but it does not seem really great. I'm just gonna grab this for the value to sell, but I don't think that's gonna fit anywhere. Can I? Maybe? Huh? Now we're losing, hold on, how much slash damage? Just 32? Okay, but we're gaining 140, a little bit of fortitude, a little bit of order, which overall is just much better. Okay. Now if, hear me out, if I move this here, no, it's not touching that. If I move this here and go that there, then we need to be 4 wide. Okay. Whatever. I don't need this. Ow. I need a health potion is what I should be doing. Maybe we're just gonna do this for this turn? Okay, so heal yourself, but then he attacks and gets another heal. Okay. Minus crush. Get some vampirism though. Some dodge. Not bad just to have an item. This does affect hoods sometimes. Weapon. Lose fortitude, gain mana, initiative order. Put that on. It's fine. I don't want to mess with it. This guy doesn't really need the health and vampirism. This guy needs the health and vampirism. Let's be on the bottom. You do no damage. You're losing damage with that, but vampirism might be worth it with the health. I don't know. He's my tank. He's my tank. This is a weapon. We actually could have that for health and vampirism. Just because it's a weapon, I could still throw this back at my other guy. Okay. Double acid damage. Bonus acid damage based on chaos. So which one's... Yeah, this is cheaper. My chaos is way... it's about the same as the acid. So which one are we going to stack more? We're more likely to stack chaos, so I'm going to do the chaos because it's cheaper, and we're more likely to stack. Bunch of order. That'll give me armor with my tank guy. Care about thorns. Okay. So is this worth doubling? How much is it again? 75 order? Yeah, that's probably worth doubling. 277 order now. Okay. He's actually going to get himself some armor. So I think we're a little bit safer there. Every swing will give him 277 armor. We almost got him. Oh, all right. Armor, which I don't really have. I guess I could put that right here and get dodge, crit chance, and initiative. It's actually not bad for this character. Or another one of these, which we're not going to do. So we just drop this thing. Isn't doing much. We are getting a little bit of staff bonus. So we're getting, like, we lost 18 chaos by doing that. We're getting 12 dodge. We're at 50% dodge. That's good. That's pretty good. 50% crit chance. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, that's more dodge and crit chance now. Now we can maybe throw something over here. I don't have any, like I could potentially rearrange. I don't know if I can make it worth something. It's touching 3. It was touching 4, right? It's touching 4. This is touching 3. I can have a touch 3 here. You have 8 mana. Okay, we'll get him enough mana to cast 1 time, I guess. Do we have our potions used? No, we don't. Getting more. I want more. These guys are all emo and edgy. I guess you get your 3 mana for the big fight. It's cost you 10. So he'll do it 1 time, but he'll put Fury on everybody. He's doing okay. That's some decent damage he's got going. That much extra, but I guess it's lethal, yeah. Staff gives more chaos, acid damage. We don't have that much acid damage, but we're gonna have to start dropping stuff to make that work. Minus more health and armor, but slash and crush? Sign me up. Another! I can't fit that. There's no way. Well, hold on. Just swap this thing, maybe I can fit that. It is 80 slash damage. Alright, we're gonna give that a try. Can I fit that? Well, we can, but now it's do we have any other swords floating around? Nope. Potentially more, you know, we get a little bit of crit chance, slash damage from that. I don't think there's a world where I can fit these together. Really tough. It's not that important of a sword, it's just a sword. I'm gonna rearrange this entirely. Have that like up there maybe? I don't think I like it. Not really fitting the way I thought it would. I mean, we could still put random things in here. Get the ring is what we were trying to do. But we already got a few rings. One ring on Paladin for new one. It's the crit. The crit ring is the least important one. And this is 70. This is what, 120? That's 98. So this is actually better. We lose the armor, but I think more overall damage by doing that. And less health lost, honestly. He actually has some crit chance because of the swords, so throw that in there. And then maybe I gotta completely rearrange this again. That did not work. And some changes have to happen. We know we want to have the sword adjacent there. I'd like to have all the crit chance if we could. These are giving the health, vampirism, armor, and this is the one I want to prioritize. I don't like how I'm placing them evenly. It's got to kind of do something more like that. This is touching 2, that's touching 3. That's more important. I don't know. I don't remember where we were at from the start, so I kind of lost track, and I'm just going to hope that it's better. I definitely lost track. Let's go. I don't need any of this. Way more crit damage? That's true. That's true. We do. That increased a lot. I like to think the slash damage is higher now. Sorry, it becomes a lot. All right, we don't have this way. Oh, he just used up all of his spells, thank you. And I guess I can give him mana back? Because we have the potions. And I'm going to give him a chance to take a turn and get vampirism until he gets his health back, so we're just going to get our mana. Armor. Mana, lose dodge, get a lot of chaos. It's a fair amount of chaos. I could get 100 chaos if we wanted. We'd lose 16 dodge and we were stacking it. And we'd lose like more than that because I'd probably swap this one out. It's tough. Paladin only, armor thorns, no. It's gonna be this, but I don't know if I'm gonna actually wear it. Paladin only, plate armor, health order, crit chance. Armor fortitude, paladin. Legendary hammer, paladin. That's surely just better than this, right? 16 mana, 90 crush, 15 order. 60 mana, 50 crush, and 56 crush to other ones, which is currently just one. It'd be nice just to have one buff of that somewhere, like on this, just to get that 16 mana for the paladin. Or the warrior, rather. No, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm good. 400 health? This is my main character only. I can't throw this on the paladin or anything. I'll also be eating some dinner. That is a lot. Are we willing to lose the slash and crush? I'm actually stacking both. I could put it potentially on the warrior. If he has any mana at all, he'll get the order benefit. It'd be easiest to swap it out on the warrior. Be pretty easy to swap it here too. It's only touching one item at this point. Sad. It makes sense to give him some sort of defensive item. This is giving it to that, but it's only 35, and if I'm touching this and I get the extra there, then we also make room for something. Eh? Considering we've used every slot but one, I'm actually very happy with that. And this is affecting armor, so it's actually doing me nothing, isn't it? Wow, okay, so move stuff again. I can get one effect of that, but I'm not actually getting anything out of it. But we lose out on a whole item to do that. Okay, that's not happening then. Not happening. I was actually rather proud of myself. Oh, this is the better one. Touching 2. That's touching 3. This is only touching 1. I don't like it. 2. And I've got armor down here floating around for unknown reasons, but I have it. I guess that works. Right at the boss. Did I ever get the double thing filled up? I think I did. Double bonus. Yep. We could still get a gem. I could get mana on my warrior for the boss, and then I got mana potions. But then maybe I don't need to bring a mana potion. Yeah, I don't want to bring a mana potion. I want to do both of these things. Okay. Let's just do that. See if we can beat the max difficulty here. Alright, slash damage to the target and the entire party, or acid damage to the target and the entire party. I'm gonna do the acid again. Same reasoning applies. Well, it's I'm worried about the slash hitting everybody, but the only one who doesn't have armor at all is my main, and I have vampires. Maybe we'll try it. Ooh, don't like dodge. I need to start doing the attack to get my life drain. I think I got the attack and corrupt. Stop the dodge! No, there goes our tank. I thought we were doing better than that. He's doing critical hit power by 75. And he's landing it. We missed several times. We actually would have killed him by now, I think, if we didn't miss all those times. Keep stacking the corruption. And that's it! Oh my! I kind of thought we were doing good. I thought we had it. Okay then. Library room unlocked. Okay. A little bit info about our characters. Seals. Tails. Interesting. The gates shall open and herald the coming of a great evil. Sandhills were the oldest kingdom in the heart of the desert. For centuries, its alchemists, priests, and astronomers sought knowledge hidden from ordinary people. In their pursuit, they ventured too far. They discovered the darkness and accidentally unleashed it upon the world. The last surviving alchemist realized what his people had done and set out in search of an artifact. This ancient relic, a magical box, had the power to stop the catastrophe. His quest was successful, but forced him to seal himself and the entire cursed desert within that box forever. Are we within it? His life, his memories, such is the price of the sealing ritual. We are getting like these seal shards. Animals, insects, plants, even fungi shall become servants. Grimwood became the next victim of the darkness. These lands had long attracted hunters and fortune seekers who came in search of rare resources, potent poisons, and valuable loot. It was human greed that ultimately drew the evil here. The darkness infected the forest's mycelial network and transformed it into a vast, unified mind. Before long, the hunter of the forest guardians discovered that very artifact. The ancient relic offered him a chance to save his homeland, but the price was terrible. To stop the infection, the hunter had to repeat another's fate, seal Grimwood and his own soul within the artifact forever. Only by passing through the gates 3 times can one reclaim one's true self. And more to come. Interesting, interesting. What was the last thing? Oh, the Sentinels themselves. Ashen Bastion. Okay. Well, I'm thinking that we might be calling it there. I think it's been a great run. We could start another one, but I do have dinner here and I got family time coming up. And so I'm trying to spend that time wisely, not squander it, have a good time with the family. And I think it's a good chance to step away. I think we may, tomorrow, if you're curious still, tomorrow is when this goes live. The game is going to be released to the public. That is the 14th of August for those checking out this game on YouTube at a later date. If so, then it's already live. But this was the 1.0 version. The demo is what everyone has access to right now. Tomorrow the game goes live, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a good time with it. I do wish, if I had any critiques, it would just be I want more. More characters, more events, things like that. So I think it's a great foundation. I don't know what their business model would be, if there is such a thing, if they want to have more content. Whether it be DLC or expansions or just adding stuff in with patches as they go. Clearly, it's a lot more work than just, you know, these sorts of animations, I'm sure it takes a lot of work to do. So it's a big investment for more characters. But, you know, I like them. I like the characters. I just want more. That's because I'm having fun with it. So having a bit more to rotate through, making each run different, some events perhaps. I commented earlier about having relics of some sort to gather for buffs as well, just because I love having combos from relics as well. I feel like the items are a wonderful gameplay mechanic until you get to the second half of your run, and then they become a burden because you just can't fit anything. And so a relic as a reward instead of an item as a reward might alleviate that while still giving the, you know, the combos and stuff. Obviously that might scale a little bit too much out of control. Now we're talking not just designing the relics, the art for the relics, we're talking balance for the whole game is entirely different. I don't see that as like an easy fix. I'm just saying, here's where I'm at. I would have loved to have seen it. The game's coming out tomorrow, there won't be relics. But it's a fun game. I'm having a good time. So everyone, I hope you've enjoyed your time here. I'm gonna just check real quick on Twitch if I have any other family-friendly streamers available to send you over to. I don't think so. So I guess with that, we are just going to be done here. Thanks for hanging out. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you for being here. Thanks for staying. I do have a Discord. I'll share the link with you right now. And on it, we have gaming news, things like that. But in addition to that, I've got a whole section on faith. So you're welcome to reach out for prayer requests or any questions you may have. I want to be available to you. That's part of what I do. So not just do we have family-friendly streaming, but we've got a way to be accessible and encourage you, just as you guys encourage me all the time. So thanks for sticking around. And I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow, weather permitting. So we've been having a lot of storms, a lot of problems with that. Here locally in the Midwest US. You know, at the start of the stream, I talked about how we were coordinating with some of the, like the fire department and everything with I have a non-profit that I work for, and we have a community center, so that's actually been opened up. We've got some people staying there. So there might be some circumstances that either delay or cancel my stream just because there's some real life stuff going on. So if you are the praying type, feel free to pray for the community that I live in the Midwest here. There's a lot of people without homes right now. So there's a lot of flooding going on for anyone needing context. Anyway, have a good evening, everyone. Good night, and God bless.